but your kids responded in a much different way last week in Florida than they did in Rockford, and that just showed the growth that your team has made over the last 2.5 months.
Well, again, you start in August, and it's obviously very warm, and it's Saturday's going to be in November. So essentially 2.5 to 3 months pass. You go from one season to another season, and we've seen, just like you said, we've seen a lot of maturity. I mean, you start the season out, and you're the year before you lose 16, 17, 18 starters. I mean, the media figures out, again, what categorizes a starter. And, so long story short, we've got very few returning players going into this year. So it raises a lot of questions. And, we've got the construction job going on and lots of different things. And long story short, Rockford Lutheran, in a very short period of time, they were able to show us our weaknesses and some things that we need to work on, and that challenges us and challenges our coaching staff, and somehow, some way, again, gaining strength and gaining knowledge and playing better as a team each week. We continue to get better, to get 7 in a row, and put us at the 7-1 mark. We go to Florida last week, and again, a lot of great things for us, because again, it ends up being great competition. A few of those weeks down the stretch, I don't know again if it was great competition. I mean, they were wins, but at the end of the day, we needed to end the season with a challenge and kind of give us a measuring tool. And now this week at practice, we've been able to work on some things, making sure we're ready to go. And then we're now. I mean, we're entering the playoffs and a field of 32, and it's pretty simple. If you want to play the next week, then you got to make sure you take care of the week that you're in. So I know a lot of times you look way ahead. Can't say that I look way ahead, but other people look way ahead. Right now the challenge is Stanford Olympia, and obviously making sure that we're ready to go to them. But there's probably 3/4 of the schools in the state of Illinois, they've got their stuff collected, and it's over and done, and their boys have started basketball or wrestling. And we're proud to say that at Notre Dame, we have it. We're focused, and we're ready to go, and ready to see Stanford Olympia when they roll in here Saturday, November 1.
Stanford Olympia and QND, you played a couple years in the same conference, but you haven't really seen Stanford Olympia, I don't think, since 1996 or 1997. So a coach who's only in his 4th year, and he's kind of in the same rebuilding mode that you were in when you got to QND. He's just trying to get kids to have some confidence to come out and play football and get a tradition kick-started again.
Well, again, Tim, they do some good things. I mean, they've got 9 guys that do go both ways. I mean, they play OD and special teams. Those guys are very talented football players. Quarterback is, again, very, very talented, can throw the ball. He's got guys that can throw the ball, too. He's got also a nice back, and then also he's very capable of running the football. Some big guys up front, and it comes down to, again, I mean, it comes down to the basics, and that's the one thing I can tell you that we're continuing to work on. That we worked on for 30 minutes on Wednesday night at football practice, and that's just individual positions and blocking and base blocking and running backs blocking and running backs hitting the hole and getting snaps and just basic things that you have to do in football to win football games. And they throw the ball. We don't throw the ball. So again, it goes back to the same game plan that we had last week. Same game plan versus Breeze Mater Dei. I mean, we want to control the clock. We want to score when we get the football, and we want to try to somehow get them 3 and out. So I mean, we want to run the clock and run the clock constantly. So I mean, there'll be no hidden secrets what we're going to do when this game rolls around here.
We talked about the maturity of your team, difference between week 1 and last week down in Florida. The other factor last week was that you had some key people who either couldn't go at the start of the game or you lost during the game, and your kids were still able to fight and hang in there until the 4th quarter.
Well, again, and we've discussed this at practice this week, we're not using excuses. We didn't use excuses to start this year with graduation. We're not using excuses of injury. We've got to play. So when you're given an opportunity, then you better play. And when you're given an opportunity, you got to make plays. And you don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, we stress that all the time. You're a play away from entering the ball game. If you're a freshman, we expect you to make plays. If we've kept you. If you're a sophomore, we expect you to make plays. Junior, senior, across the board, when it's your turn, don't let the team down, make plays. And we've been pretty good at that over the years. And we expect that to continue right on down the road here. Make plays when you're given an opportunity.
You have a couple of kids who are going to be game time decisions for the game today against Stanford Olympia, and key players as well, but maybe at a position of strength for you where you have some flexibility to plug other players in.
Well, again, it's one of those deals where, everybody in America wants to know if Hilgenbrink and Andrews are going to play. They're two of our best players, and we expect there'll be game time decisions. I expect that both the young men will get some reps. I won't know once the game rolls around and I see them running and they see themselves running. Does that mean it's 1 rep? Does that mean it's 30 reps? I can't answer that question, but I do expect that they'll be in uniform. I do expect it's their senior years. I do expect that they're going to do everything they can to get out there and help this team perform. But both of them are also competitors. If they can't compete at a high level and they know they're going to hurt the team, then they're also smart enough to know that we got to get somebody else in there. But I do expect we will see them. I just don't know how much we're going to see them. But again, there's not excuses going to be made here. I mean, we got to play and play hard. Stanford Olympia is going to roll in here. They've not made the playoffs for 12 years. There's got to be some growing great excitement within that football team and that community that you made the IHSA playoffs. And if we think they're going to come in here and just roll over and die, that's not going to happen. I mean, Coach is going to have his team prepared, and we're going to have to obviously match it. We're going to have to find a way to make some plays. What you've done week 1 through 9 means nothing. I mean, when I say means nothing, you've had to earn the right to play in this game, but you can throw all that out. Nobody's going to care what you did week 2. Nobody's going to care what you did week 8 or anywhere in between. The only thing that's going to be remembered will be the plays that are made Saturday afternoon on this football field.
Go get them.
Tim, always an honor. Thank you very much.
That's head coach Bill Cannell as QND gets set to take on Stanford Olympia in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. We'll have the kickoff in just a few moments here on WTAD. Kevin, just take a minute here.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
Blue pants, white numbers, gold trim, and of course golden domes. Stanford Olympian white jerseys with blue pants, blue numbers, and they have some white and Columbia and Navy mixed in there as well. Cooper Reese has it on a tee to our right, and we are ready for action. First round of the Class 4A Illinois High School football playoffs, and Reese's kick is high and down the middle of the field. And will be taken at about the 8-yard line by the return man, who's Justin Slager. And Slager gets it up to about the 22-23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at that point. And our first look to see Colin Miller and see how he runs this pistol wing offense for Stanford Olympia.
Well, you certainly want to see QND come out here strong defensively. Let's see if they can get to Miller quick. Certainly at some point in this game he's going to find a rhythm, but let's try to shorten how long that rhythm's for. Don't let him get in a rhythm here right away going on the first drive.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Spartans, and they come out in that pistol wing. Almost a pistol eye here with 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver near side. Miller takes the snap, hands it off to the running back who's hitting the backfield and dropped for a 2-yard loss. I believe that was Tristan Ballinger who got the carry there. It was Ballinger, and he was tackled 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 12 for the Spartans.
Didn't catch the number of the Raider there that caught him, but there was about 2 or 3 different guys there collapsed on Ballinger, so nothing doing there early, just on the quick quick handoff on the right-hand side.
It's not a good sign if you're an Olympia coach to see that much penetration on your first
No, there were several guys. Blake Hilgenbrink is making the start today at middle linebacker. Good to see him back out there.
3 receivers far side, single receiver near side. And Miller takes the snap, quick out to the running back Slager. Slager makes the catch, is hit, but is not brought down. Missed 3 tackles, but then loses 2 yards. As the Raiders again with great penetration. Logan Arns, who was sick on Thursday, Kyle, is over there to make the play. So the Raiders not only have some injury knickknacks, but also they had a couple players who were
flu. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure. Let me put it this way. Logan Arns was in the hallway Thursday morning, Kyle, and he goes, and Coach Cannell said, "How you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm throwing up, but I'm all right."
Okay. On
the beauty of youth.
Yeah. The toughness. The toughness. We certainly talk about his toughness all season long, and it takes place in the hallways at school, too. No surprise.
So it's 3rd and 13 for Stanford Olympia. From their own 18-yard line. They send the back in motion. Miller takes the snap and runs right up the middle of the field on a quarterback draw and gets it back almost to the original line of scrimmage. Gets it to the 21 for a gain of 3, but it's a 3-and-out for the Spartans on their first possession of this playoff game.
Yeah, credit Luke Frieden going back to that 2nd down play. Credit Luke Frieden there with getting off his block, almost coming in with the tackle right away. Missed the tackle, couldn't quite bring the receiver down, and then hustling back to the plate to ultimately be the person that made the tackle. And nice job there again by the Raiders front 4. They had a motion there on that last play to try to draw Aarons out and run the sneak back up inside, but nothing doing.
Austin Bruner with the punt, and it's a low line drive kick, but it gets about an 18, 19-yard roll.
Wow.
That ball hit short of midfield and ended up at the Raider 38-yard line. And, Kyle, that's one thing that Stanford Olympia hasn't done well all year, and that's punt the ball. So the Raiders were kind of preparing for a short kick, but it was a low line drive. They had plenty of roll on it on this field turf.
Yeah, and Raiders had a good rush at it, too. They they came fairly close to blocking that. So that's something to keep an eye on, too, if they think they can knock one down here before the game is over.
So 1st and 10 QND from their own 38. And the Raiders will come out in the power eye, and Dalen Anders is in the ballgame with kind of a banged-up knee. Single receiver far side, ball on the far hash. Max Memberlow, the quarterback. And the first play of the game is a handoff to Logan Arns. And Arns will get about 5, maybe 6, as they're going to put him at the 43. So a gain of 5 for Logan Arns. On 1st down for QND, it'll be 2nd and 5 from their own 43.
Nice quick hitter there out the middle to get things going. Dalen Anders, we talked about him getting hurt early in the game last week against Calvary Christian. Let's see how the Raiders try to work that into their game plan. You certainly don't want to have to hand it to him 40 times like they have a couple times this season. You want to try to limit his workload as much as you can. So let's see how the Raiders try to do that. Power
eye. Single receiver near side is LB Cornwall. Quick count, pitch it to Anders. Anders looks for a hole. He will get close to the 1st down, and it all depends on the spot. So around the 48 or 49-yard line, looks like they're going to give Anders the 49, gain of 6, 1st down QND.
Well, certainly good-looking start here for QND, moving the ball already inside and outside. So Dalen Anders looked like he had pretty good spring there on that sweeper on the left-hand side and was able to get that 1st down without too much problem.
So 1st and 10 QND from their own 49. Power eye. Ben Welper, the tight end, towards the far side. Single receiver near side is Krasinski. Turn, give it to Parker Kinsel. He hits the line. Now bounce it to the outside. He's got 7, he's got 8, and he is close to the 1st down, and in fact will have the 1st down at the Olympia 40-yard line. Pickup of 11 for Parker Kinsel and another 1st down for the Raiders.
Well, Spartans are coming out so far like a 5-3 defense and really a safety almost walked all the way up. So, I mean, they really are stacking the box. They've got a couple nose guards tucked tight inside to help slow down that inside run game. But so far, Raiders good chunks of yards both times they've gone to their fullbacks.
Kinsel took that handoff, Kyle, and his shoulder pad hit somebody right at the line of scrimmage, and he just bounced it and went left and found the crease and got 11 yards. 1st and 10 QND from the Spartan 40-yard line. And Beverly will turn, give it to Anders. Anders hesitates, now tries to hit a crease, but a nice play on the outside by Josh Boehm. Boehm corralled Anders when it looked like Anders may hit a crease, but Boehm stops Anders for a 3-yard gain. They'll be 2nd and 7 for QND.
Yeah, big Josh Boehm, one of the small handful of seniors that the Spartans have on their roster. 6 foot, 275 pounds. He certainly is the big man up front for the Olympia Spartans.
Dalen Anders checks out. Ben Nord checks in for QND. Nord will be the tailback in the power eye. Single receiver far side, LB Cornwell. 2nd and 7, QND from the Spartans 37. They'll pitch it wide to Ben Nord. Nord waits for a block. He gets it. Now bounces to the sideline. Now a flag comes in. It's going to be a blocking penalty on QND. Flag laying at the feet of Parker Kinsel. Nord ended up picking up about 12 on the play, but the flag is laying at about the 31-yard line, which would be a gain of about 6. And then a spot foul from that would take it back 10 yards.
Good looking run there from Nord. Again, he was kind of the spark plug last week that helped fuel that QND comeback on a nice long kick return. That time on a sweep right, really using his speed to get outside quick and then finish the run, running through one of the Spartan defensive backs. I believe it was Tristan Ballinger. All for not those. It's going to come back on the holding penalty.
Take the ball back to the 41. So a gain of 6 for Nord and then the 10-yard penalty. And Kyle, I know Nord was waiting for Parker Kinsel to get to the outside to throw a block, so I don't think the hold was on Kinsel. I think it might have been on LB Cornwell, who was the wide receiver split to that side. If Kinsel did hold, he got in front of Nord for about a second and a half and grabbed somebody. So now 2nd and 11 for QND from their own, from the Spartans' 41-yard line. Longer count for the Raiders. Give it to Arns. Arns tries to bounce to the outside, and he'll be wrapped up and thrown down for no gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for QND at the Spartan, just outside the Spartan 40-yard line. So maybe a gain of about a foot for Arns.
Well, nice job on the penetration there from the Olympia defensive front. We haven't really seen Arns or Kinsel, for that matter, forced to move laterally on some of those fullback dives. Typically, they're able to keep their shoulders squared upfield and run forward. That time, Arns shuffles a little bit to his left. It allowed the Spartans to kind of catch up to him, and then he got gang tackled for just a short gain.
7:05 left to go, first quarter. 3rd and 11 for QND. Remember, quick snap, rolls to the far side. Looking, stands, fires, and it's caught by Welper inside the 25, down around the 20, and to about the 19-yard line. And that was basically Max Memberlo finding the 6'4" Ben Welper and saying, go get it, big boy.
Yeah, you're right. Good coverage there. I think, again, it was Ballinger on Welper. Good coverage from the secondary from the Spartans, and you're right, it was Benverlo knowing the situation. It's 3rd down. He wanted to get it downfield. Welper was well covered, but he put some air under the ball and let Welper go up and make a play. Nice catch by Welper, getting some elevation, getting those arms up there to come down with the ball.
I want to make a quick point about Max Memberlo after this play. 1st and 10 Raiders from the Spartan 19-yard line. Ball on the far hash. Kinsel comes in motion near side. Turn, give it to Nord. Nord runs into his own blocker. That blows up the play, and now it's 3 Spartans just wrapping up Nord and throwing him backwards. So virtually no gain on the play. Let's see they're going to say a loss of about a yard to the 20-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 for QND. And Kyle, real quick, when Max Memberlo rolled out that time, when he went to throw the ball for the first time in at least 3 weeks, he set his feet before he threw. He took his time to make sure he threw the ball and didn't just kind of aim it and put too much air underneath it.
Yeah, nice throw rolling to his right.
2nd and 11 for QND from the Spartans 20. Arns comes in motion this time. They pitch it wide to Nord. Nord looking for the corner. Will get the corner turned, and he'll get about 5 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. So inside the 20 is Nord. It just depends on the spot. And it looks like it's going to be about they're going to say the 16. So a gain of about 4 for QND brings up about 3rd and 7 for the Raiders.
Nord really has a different running style in those sweeps than we've seen from Dalen Anders. Nord almost runs that sweep play like he's like it's a 2-point conversion, and he's running right to the corner and just wants to get right to that corner and use that speed to get there.
Ball on the near hash, 3rd and about 7 for the Raiders. Arns leaves the power eye, goes in motion towards the far side. They fake the pitch, looking for Arns. The pass is behind him. He makes the adjustment and scores on the pass reception as Benverlo hit Arns. Arns went in motion, went right up the seam. The pass was behind him, but Arns made the adjustment, made the catch, turned and scored.
Well, that's the old pop pass. They tried to sweep right, get the linebackers to bump out to the right, and then hit Arns in that along the seam there. And you're right, that pass was behind him. And I think that's actually what Benverlo was trying to do, was pretty decent coverage up the middle of the field. And if he had let him, the ball might have been picked off. I think in the NFL, I'll call that throw the receiver open. So they threw behind him a little bit. Arns threw his hips back and came up with the catch.
Actually, Kyle, you hear the phrase back shoulder throw a lot?
Back shoulder, yeah.
That was a back knee throw.
Sure, there you go. The back shoulder throw on the seam route.
QND takes the lead, 7-0. Raiders going 58 yards on their first possession. Actually, 62 yards on their first possession of the ball game. We'll take a 30-second break. QND leading 7-0 here on WTAD.
My name is Chuck Verville, and I'm running to be your Adams County Clerk and Recorder. I've managed Central State Bank for 13 years, which has given me the necessary knowledge to run the clerk's office efficiently. As a qualified and dedicated professional, I will bring professionalism back to the office. And with my integrity and financial business experience, I will improve the overall efficiency of the office, resolve the repeat audit violations from the office, and improve the cohesiveness of every elected official within the courthouse. I'm Chuck Verville, and I thank you for your vote and support.
He leads, and pretty good script, Kyle, to begin this ball game for Quincy Notre Dame. Raiders lose the coin flip. Stanford Olympia gets the ball, goes 3 and out. Raiders take over at their own 38 and go 62 yards, and a couple of big third down pass completions to keep the drive alive, and one resulting in a touchdown pass to Logan Arns.
No, you're right. We talked about trying to keep Miller out of rhythm for the Spartans at quarterback position. Not only did the Raiders do that, they also kind of got the running and passing game going of their own.
Here's the kick, and it's taken by Slager, and he's got a seam up the middle of the field, sidesteps one man, and gets it past the 30-yard line to about the 32. Cooper Reese with another high kick to about the 10-yard line. Slager was a little more patient that time, Kyle, let his blocks develop. Thought he was going to get a seam up the middle, but the Raiders closed it down. But a pretty good return of about 22 yards for Justin Slager and the Spartans.
Yeah, nice job there by Slager, you're right. And one other point about the QND offensive drive there. We talked a lot this season about staying ahead of schedule and putting yourself in 2nd and 6s and 3rd and 1s and that kind of thing. There was a couple 2nd and longs and even 3rd and long in that situation. Raiders did a nice job making sure they converted on those as well.
Out of the pistol, 1st and 10 Spartans. They go 2-by-2 with the receivers, and Miller hands it off to Ballinger, and he's wrapped up and thrown down by, if the traffic will clear, I'll tell you, taken down by Nathan Turpin, I believe, on the tackle for loss by the Raiders. That's a loss of 3 on the play, actually a loss of 4. As they marked the ball at the 33 after the kick return, and Ballinger loses 4. It'll be 2nd and 14 for Stanford Olympia.
I haven't really seen the Spartans do much downfield here. Yeah, I think they're trying to just kind of get this ground game established here and make the Raiders respect the run. So far, they haven't been able to get that going either.
2-by-2 of the receivers, ball in the middle of the field on 2nd and 13 for, 2nd and 14 actually, for Stanford Olympia. Colin Miller takes the snap. Quarterback draw right up the middle, and he will get back to the original line of scrimmage almost, as he was tackled by Brady Miller. And they are going to give Colin Miller the 32, so a gain of 3 will bring up 3rd and 11 for Stanford Olympia from their own 31-yard line.
Second time so far the Spartans have gone with the quarterback draw. The Raiders are coming out and with primarily a man-to-man on their defensive back, so they're hoping if Miller is able to get past that front 4, front 7, it's harder for those defensive backs to come chase him because their eyes are just on the receiver.
3rd and 11 for Stanford Olympia from their own 31-yard line. Miller takes the snap in the pistol, stands up, fires, and the pass is deflected and almost intercepted by Brian Copley. Pass was intended for Austin Bruner and went off his hands. And I think, Kyle, that was just a case of Bruner thinking there was more traffic there than there was, and he got a little antsy and forgot to catch the ball.
Yeah, I think so. That was a catchable ball. His arms were outstretched. He did have to reach for it there, but you're right. I think that's a catch he normally comes up with. 30 catches coming in to tonight's ball game, or today's ball game, and Raiders almost made him pay with an interception.
So another 3 and out for Stanford Olympia. Now Bruner's kick is a high end over end kick that Kitzel got close to and then backs away from, and it takes another 18 to 20-yard bounce. Will roll dead inside the Raider 20 at about the 18-yard line. So Parker Kitzel was a little unsure. You could actually see the hesitation. Do I go for the ball or do I lay back? He decided to lay back, and the ball passed 20 yards past him.
Yeah, kind of a tough break. You're right, that ball did land at the 38, 20-yard bounce. You know, that time I think Kitzel wanted to get there. I just don't think he was actually able to get there. The ball landed right around between the hashes and the numbers, not a ton of hang time on it, and I don't think he was able to get there as quick as he wanted. And you know, if you're not sure if you can get there, you shouldn't try, because really bad things can happen if you're not sure about being able to get there.
They marked the ball just inside the Raider 19. 1st and 10, QND leading 7-0 are the Raiders. Parker Kitzel leaves the power eye, goes in motion towards the far sideline. And the Raiders will run a delay with Dalen Anders. He will try and bounce it to the outside, makes a one-man miss. Now lowers his shoulder, knocks Austin Bruner down, and gets it to about the 26-yard line, 27-yard line actually, for a gain of about 8. 2nd and 2, QND.
Well, another good-looking play. That time they try on the counter play around the left-hand side, and Dalen Anders with a real strong finish to that run. lowering his shoulder. I think it was Dietrich Venberlo helping open that hole along the left-hand side from his guard position, helping spring Anders loose around the corner.
Boy, Anders figured out quickly, didn't he, Kyle, that he was going to outrun Brunner, so he just lowered his shoulder and powered through him. The power eyeball in the near hash, second and a short 2 for QND. Give it to Arns. Arns backs up, now goes forward, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but no further. It'll be 3rd and 2 for QND as the ball marker on the far sideline moves forward about a foot or so.
Seems like the Spartans, obviously QND did a great job scoring a touchdown there in that last possession. They have kind of snuffed out that inside run a little bit. Now it's the second or third time where Arns, really had nowhere to go the second he took the handoff. That's a little bit different for QND. They've typically had success picking up 4 or 5 yards, 3, 4, 5 yards when they've gone on those inside runs. Let's keep an eye and hope that trend reverses itself.
So 3rd and just less than 2 for QND. Ball at about their own 28-yard line between the hashes. Power eye, double tight. Memberlo turns, gives it to one of the fullbacks, and he will not get the first down. Parker Kinsel gets pushed back another yard. So good defensive line play by Stanford Olympia results in the Raiders getting stuffed on 3rd and 2. It's now 4th and 2, and the Raiders will have to punt it away.
Yeah, time. I think it was Wyatt Crump that the Spartans moved around a little bit up from his linebacker position, coming on a blitz there a little bit, like he had timed out just right, guessed the hole just right, and credit the Spartans for forcing a punt after having about a 2nd and 2. You're right.
Connor Daniel will punt it away. It's a high kick, middle of the field. Fair catch called for, and fumbled.
The ref blew his whistle. I don't know who's going to come up with it. The referee did blow his whistle. 4 was recovered.
Stanford Olympia has recovered the fumble. And you're right, Kyle. That went right through the breadbasket of the punt returner, Justin Slager. And as soon as the ball was about to be caught, you heard a whistle. So Stanford Olympia recovers the fumble, and they will have good field position starting at about their own 43, 1st and 10 for the Spartans, trailing 7-0.
Well, Olympia now able to take over with some real good field position. You're right. You see the Raiders unable to catch that punt in the last sequence there and gave up 20 yards in the bounce and then unable to pick up a first down. So Olympia earned it here and taken over just on their half of midfield.
Out of the pistol, Miller will bring the back in motion. That's Slager on a jet sweep. No, Miller he held on to it, which was a good decision. Slager got tackled 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Miller picked up 2 to the 45. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 45-yard line.
Certainly Miller, some quick feet back there at the quarterback position. He almost has the body more of a fullback.
He's
kind
bigger
of broad
than
shoulders.
yeah,
5'11", 175, but he looks bigger. Anyway, from up here, he looks a pretty strong young man and really has a running style more of a fullback.
2nd and 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 45-yard line. QND leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. Miller takes the snap out of the pistol. He's going to throw the deep fade, and he threw it up, but he didn't throw it down, and it is incomplete. Austin Bruner grabbed a hold of Jordan Obert and wanted interference called, and it was offensive pass interference more than anything Jordan Obert did. But you'd think Miller with his passing stats would have a better arm than that, Kyle. That was not a good throw.
Yeah, I don't know if that one kind of slipped out of his hand or what, but you're right. He kind of airmailed that fade pattern, and Austin Bruner asking for a flag. Be careful what you wish for, young man, because that would have been 15 yards against you. Good coverage here by Jordan Obert.
Obert had the inside position, and that pass was so woefully underthrown that Obert didn't find the ball right away, Kyle, but still had time to turn and find it. And the whole time he was turning to find it, Bruner had a hold of his shoulder pads. So 3rd and 8 for the Spartans from their own 45. They run a delay. Ballinger will get about 6, but he'll be short of the first down, as they're going to mark Ballinger down at about the QND 49. And Stanford Olympia needs to get to the Raider 47 or just inside it. So it's going to be 4th and a full 2 yards for Stanford Olympia as Ballinger picked up 5 on the play.
Well, nice pickup's going to make this an interesting decision here for Spartans. I imagine they'll go for it. We're seeing Blake Hilgenbrink checking in and out a lot tonight or today. Typically you'd see him in on every play. Again, coming off the injury, he's not playing every snap here, trying to give him some breaks here on defense.
They're going to punt it. Is Stanford Olympia, and it's a line drive kick that hits somebody, and Parker Kinsel picks it up and moves forward to his own 27-yard line. I saw Colin Miller go off the field for Stanford Olympia, Kyle, but I wasn't sold that they were going to punt the ball, and then Austin Bruner kicked another low-line drive that never got more than 6 feet off the ground, and it hit somebody on the way through. Did it hit Luke Frieden?
Luke Frieden running back to help set up a block for the punt return, and just hit him in the back. Raiders get lucky there on the bounce that it goes over to Kinsel.
And they're going to mark Kinsel down where he first touched the ball. since it already had touched the Raiders. So the Raiders will take over at their own 26. 48 seconds left to go. First quarter, QND leading 7-0. Third possession of the game for the Raiders. Power I. Now they shift out of it and go to the empty backfield. 3 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side.
Let's keep an eye on the twin side here.
Memberlo takes the snap, fakes one way, now fires deep. He's got a man open, and it's caught by Jordan Obert. He's at the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5, touchdown QND. A 74-yard touchdown connection from Max Memberlo to Jordan Obert, and Jordan Obert did a great job, Kyle, to catch up to that pass, and it looked like to me he caught the back end of the ball.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think he was going to quite catch up to him. He kind of turned on those jets, outstretched arms, and an over-the-shoulder catch for Jordan Obert. He was lined up in the seam, the slot position there on the twin side, and just ran a simple fly pattern. Max Memberlo able to float it over the defender's head, and Jordan Obert catches it in stride and takes it the distance.
And Cooper Reese bangs home the extra point. 38 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Your new score, QND 14, Stanford Olympia nothing. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.
3 and out on their second possession, but on their third possession, a one-play, 74-yard touchdown reception. Max Memberlo hitting Jordan Obert, and the Raiders go up 14-0 with 38 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Well, we'll see if that makes the play calling for the Spartans a little bit more predictable so far this first quarter. We've seen 3 different punts. And now if they're going to play catch-up, you'd expect they'll try to get the ball downfield more often, and hopefully that turns the Raiders' pass rush loose.
Max Memberlo, Kyle, 3 for 3 for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I like it.
His quarterback rating is infinity. Here's Reese's kick, and it's deep,
wow,
and it is into the end zone about 2 yards deep.
Wow.
And that'll be an automatic touchback for Stanford Olympia. They'll start at their own 20, 1st and 10, trailing 14-0, and no time goes off the clock, 38 seconds left to go. First quarter.
And that was not, the wind picks up a little bit now, that was not really a wind-aided kickoff either. I mean, that was a strong kick.
That was hammered. So from their own 20, 4th possession of the game for Stanford Olympia. And
still looking for their first down.
That's right. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, sorry.
You need me to do more talking, Kyle. Pistol offense, 1st and 10, ball in the middle of the field. And Miller will give it to the running back Ballinger, and he'll get about 3, get pushed forward for maybe 5 yards. They're going to give Ballinger, it looks like, just short of the 25-yard line, so a gain of more than 4. And, in fact, we'll give Ballinger 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Stanford Olympia. And, Kyle, their most successful first down play today. Yeah,
it's just on an inside handoff, and really the last 2 yards of that play were really because he rolled over Blake Hilgenbrink. Hilgenbrink had him tackled, about a 3-yard gain, but he landed on top of Hilgenbrink and rolled over him.
On 2nd and 5 from their own 25, Raiders show blitz. Miller takes the snap, gives it off to Ballinger. Ballinger trying to pick his way through traffic. We'll get about 2 outside the 25-yard line to about the 27. We played a 1 quarter, actually only a gain of 1 from where the near side linesman marked it. We played 12 minutes. QND leads Stanford Olympia 14-0 in the Class 4A playoffs. Raider football on WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
And our defensive line's all over him, but show me something.
We start the second quarter. QND leading 14-0. Tim and Kyle with you on this Saturday afternoon. Kevin Payne, our producer. And Stanford Olympia trailing by 2 touchdowns. Comes out in the pistol, 2-by-2 the receivers. Single back with Colin Miller, the quarterback, and the Raiders jump off sides. So the hard count draws the Raiders off sides, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Stanford Olympia. The Spartans go the entire first quarter without a first down, and the first play of the second quarter results in a 5-yard walk-off against QND, and the Spartans' first down of the game. First down.
QND still playing some positional, if you will, defensive play calling. Vonderheide and Hilgenbrink consistently go on and off here, in part to get more defensive backs on the field in some situations, and then also in part to get Blake Hilgenbrink a rest every now and then.
So 1st and 10 for Stanford Olympia from their own 31-yard line. They go empty, 3-by-2 the receivers, ball in the middle of the field. Colin Miller sends Ballinger in motion, and they fake the jet sweep. Miller still has it, but he's hit twice. He's hit low by Luke Frieden and hit high by Ben Welper. Miller picked up about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 33-yard line.
Well, that was a solid defensive play there for QND. That one on the highlight film is Logan Arns timed up his blitz perfectly and absolutely annihilated the fake on the jet sweep. So Miller was able to keep the ball, and then Frieden was able to put a nice tackle on him as well. So lots of people flying around for QND defensively there on that first down play.
2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 33-yard line. Out of the pistol, they bring one of the wings in motion. They're going to run their first real option of the game, but didn't really work well as the fullback took the handoff and gained about a yard. That was Ballinger again. The Raiders didn't buy any kind of play fake there, Kyle. They just tackled Ballinger, figuring if he's got the ball, great. If not, oh, well, we'll chase somebody else down. Ballinger had the ball, and he only got a yard.
Sure, and that's certainly something Coach Cannell talks a lot about through the year against some of these teams that are running fakes on seemingly every play. Don't take a chance. Let someone else run past you. If they think they might have it, bring them down.
They mark the ball just outside the Spartans' 34. It's 3rd and 7 for Stanford Olympia. Colin Miller takes the snap, looking near side the whole way, throws his screen out of bounds, threw it over the head of his intended receiver, Austin Slager. They ran that screen into the short side of the field, Kyle, into the boundary, and there was no execution on that play.
Yeah, there wasn't much there. Carson Vonderheide did a nice job, too, from a safety position, reading that. Even if that ball had been on the money, Vonderheide probably would have brought that down for about a 2-yard loss. So credit the Raiders' defense there. Not quite a 3-and-out necessarily with that offsides, giving them a first down, but another stout performance. We'll see the 4th punt of the game from Olympia.
Austin Berner takes the snap, leans into it, and hits an end-over-end kick that Kinsel will back up and receive at his own 29-yard line. Almost made one man miss, but that man, Tyler Brunner, was able to knock Kinsel's legs out from underneath him. They're going to mark it at the 34, 1st and 10 QND at their own 34. And Kyle, real quick, an interesting story about Austin and Tyler Brunner. They are twins whose mother died when they were 5 years old from breast cancer. So if fans who are listening to our broadcast will look at both number 1 and number 5, they have some sort of pink on to honor their mom and also breast cancer awareness. So kind of an interesting story about those two young men, both seniors who stuck with the program here, and a lot of seniors were trying to decide whether they wanted to play football again this year for Stanford Olympia because of the lack of success, but they went ahead and it stayed on the team. Anders gets the first carry of this possession, gets it past the 35 to the 36 for a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for QND. And Kyle, these last few running plays for QND, Stanford Olympia's defensive line have done a great job.
Yeah, they're starting to kind of snuff out that inside run game. You know, and going back to the Brunner twins for 1 second, I mean, you know, certainly a hard commitment to stick with this program through all these tough times, but certainly, you know, all their effort kind of being paid off is them now being in the senior class that kind of helped this new foundation, if you will, for Olympia football.
Here's Anders on a give into the boundary, and great blocking by QND, and then hard running by Dalen Anders as he stepped through about 4 tackles, took the ball into Spartan territory, and is finally brought down at about the 47. That's a gain of 17 and a first down for the Raiders, and Anders' best carry, as he now has 36 yards on 5 carries, and the Raiders have a first down in Stanford Olympia territory.
Yeah, nice job there by Dalen Anders, bouncing off some tackles and keeping his feet moving. He even was able to grab the jersey of Logan Arns ahead of him to help stay up. He's actually holding on to Arns' jersey there to keep the feet moving.
Turn, give it to Parker Kinsel. He finds a hole. He's got 10, and he will be brought down at about the 36-yard line. That should be enough. Oh, they're going to step back now, and he's going to have the first down, but not by as much as initially marked. They're going to stop the clock to see if it is a first down or not. Now they are going to say first down. Well, where the umpire put the ball down is not a first down. Where the umpire or the linesman had his foot is a first down. Did you catch that?
We'll take it.
Instead of marking it inside the Spartan 37, the official marked it outside the 37.
Okay.
But 10 yards nonetheless, first down for QND. Now give it to Logan Arns. He submarines his way to a gain of about 2 or 3 inside the Spartan 35 to about the 34. So 10 yards for Kinsel, then 3 yards for Anders. 2nd and 7 QND. Actually, now they move it back again.
That spot back.
So a gain of 2.
The two officials there were about a full yard off on where they spotted the ball, and they went with the official there on the far side. That was right on the 35.
So a gain of 2 for Arns after a gain of 10 for Kinsel. It's 2nd and 8 QND from the Stanford Olympia 35-yard line. Now Anders trying to get to the corner is brought down by Bo Bauer. And again, Kyle, that was a play where it looked like Anders landed on another player and should have been able to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, Anders did keep going. You know, sometimes you see the referee anticipating the tackle. You know, when a person has him wrapped up, I can understand that, but I don't know that Anders' knee ever hit.
And another quick whistle from this crew. We've had, 2 of them at least. As a punt was anticipated to be caught and wasn't. But Stanford Olympia recovered that punt. And now the Raiders are looking at a 3rd and 9 from the Spartan 36-yard line. Power I. Remlo will turn, pitch it wide to Anders. Anders waiting for blocks to develop, and he's brought down by great backside pursuit by Wyatt Crump. Boy, it looked like Anders had a chance, Kyle, and he was really slowing down to develop which way he wanted to cut, and just as he was making that decision, Crump brought him down.
No, I agree. That was a nice job there of running that alley and bringing Anders down as Brady Miller was over there, kind of had the corner sealed. Kinsel was able to get downfield, put a helmet on the safety. But you're right, nice job running the alley there and bringing Anders down when it looked like it was going to be a first down type carry.
Now the Raiders can't make up their mind on what play they want to run. Here on 4th and about 6 from the Stanford Olympia 33-yard line. Raiders are going to let the play clock wind down and call their first timeout of the half. 7:19 left to go in the second quarter. QND takes their first timeout, and they will come back with a 4th and about 6. Yeah, 4th and a full 6 yards left for QND to try and get. And, Kyle, this is another situation where it's really too close to punt and too far to try a field goal.
Yeah, it's kind of an easy call for Raiders coaching staff. Unless you want to march someone out for a 50-yard field goal, which you probably don't see real often. And kind of a no-man's land in terms of trying to punt. Just in case you get a touchback, you don't really gain much. So kind of an easy decision. Let's see if they do try a Dumbo pass, which is the play where one of the fullbacks will go in motion. They fake the run up the middle. I thought they might do it on that 3rd down play. Some of those Spartan linebackers are playing pretty tight. So if they're in that tight, it makes it harder for one of them to get out to the flat and cover the Raider fullback. So it could be something the Raiders are taking a look at.
Well, it just seemed like on that, while they were in the huddle, they couldn't make up their mind if they wanted to go 4 wide or 2 back or that combination. So they called the timeout to the Raiders. Now they're going to come out in an I formation with wide receivers split to both sides. On 4th and 6, Meverlo drops straight back to pass, trying to set up a screen. He'll throw it near side to Hilgenbrink. Hilgenbrink will cut it inside, and he will be tackled at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 3, but the Raiders needed 6. So a good job by Stanford Olympia, Kyle, to let the play develop and then attack the ball carrier and knock him down before he could get the first down.
Yeah, nice job there by Olympia, recognizing they didn't have anyone on Hilgenbrink there right away, but everyone kind of stayed at home. None of the defensive linemen got too far upfield there on Venverlo, so they were able to help kind of box Hilgenbrink in as well. So good defensive stop there on 4th down from the Spartans.
So 1st and 10, Stanford Olympia, as they stop the QND drive, and the Spartans will take over at their own 30, trailing 14-0. 7:10 left to go, first half. Colin Miller with an empty backfield will bring Ballinger in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Now Miller's going to throw the ball deep down the sideline, and it will be knocked away by Jordan Obert, incomplete, as Austin Berner was the man running the pattern, Kyle. And that ball was behind him and short, and Obert had time. Who was initially beaten on the play was Jordan Obert, but he had time to recover and knock that pass away.
Yeah, nice job there by Jordan Obert, playing a little bit of catch-up and helping get that knockdown, using those long arms. We've seen him really do a terrific job, really growing up in the playoffs last year as a junior, making some nice plays. He's had a nice senior season and a long touchdown already on the offensive side tonight, and 2 knockdowns now defensively too.
Out of the pistol, ball in the far hash, 2nd and 10 for the Spartans from their own 30. Colin Miller takes the snap, wants to throw under pressure, and he's dropped for a loss of close to 9. Logan Arns on the blitz, Kyle, disrupted the play, and then 3 Raiders were back there to blow up the play completely.
Well, we haven't really seen Olympia in their passing game tonight do much besides a 1 or 2 step drop and just throw it downfield as far as they can on some fade patterns. Well, that's probably a big part of the reason why. If they want to get Miller situated in the pocket and get him back there in the pocket and looking downfield, that Raider defense, that Raider front 4 was just all over him. So we might not see it till much later because the first time they tried it, the Raiders defense just had 2-3 guys right in Miller's face.
3rd and 18 from their own 22 for Stanford Olympia. Kitzel showing blitz from the top corner. He is coming on the blitz. Miller has to bring it down. Now fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Austin Bruner. Bruner wants a penalty on Copley, but no penalty flag thrown. And there's all kinds of conversation going on with the guys in black and white. The officials are being talked to by at least 3 different players about, he did this, no, he did this. But to no avail, it's an incomplete pass, and Stanford Olympia will punt it away again.
Well, nice job there from QND after the failed 4th down play, forcing Olympia to punt from almost inside their own 20.
Austin Brunner will take this snap at his own 8-yard line. Snap back is true. Brunner quickly steps into the punt. Kinsel will come over, and it takes a backwards bounce, and now will bounce back into the Spartans' side of the 50-yard line. So Brunner got off a pretty decent kick, Kyle, but the point of the ball hit and then it exactly went 5 yards towards the QND goal line. So the Raiders will start on the plus side of the field at the Spartan 48, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that time Raiders kind of catch a break there on the bounce. It's going the other way a couple times earlier today, but Raiders get the bounce and take the ball over inside of midfield. So nice start here. Another good starting field position for QND.
Actually, they put the ball down at closer to the 47-yard line of Stanford Olympia. Ball in the middle of the field. QND leading 14-0. Raiders with possession. See if they can get the ground game cranked up here. Power I. And Parker Kinsel comes in motion towards the near sideline. Long count. Bremvelo will pitch it to Ben Nord. Nord looking for running room, and he'll be hit and keep his feet moving, break a tackle, and get inside the 40-yard line. That was the slowest developing 8-yard run you'll ever see, but credit Ben Nord, Kyle. He just kept those knees pumping until he found a crease and got 8 yards.
Yeah, nice job there by Nord. I think he was showing patience there with Mitch Carey at his tackle position, was kind of hiding behind Mitch Carey, letting Carey kind of finish off that block. And once he did, Nord was able to kind of dip that shoulder and get up the sideline there and have a nice game. But you're right, it looked like the Raiders are going to be looking at a second and 9, 2nd and 10.
Instead, it's 2nd and 2 from the Spartans' 39-yard line. Turn, give it to Parker Kinsel. He hits the whole bounces off it, and then runs through a couple tackles. He gets pushed forward to about the 21-yard line of Stanford Olympia. That's a gain of 18, actually closer to 20. Let's see where they finally spot it. They're going to spot it at the 21-yard line, so a gain of 18 yards on the play for Parker Kinsel, and another 1st down for the Raiders.
You asked about, let's see if the Raiders can get the ground game cranked up. We're 2 for 2 so far here on this drive. Raiders looking good and knocking on, just trying to get inside the red zone here. 2
running plays and 26 yards for QND after I make that request. Power icing receiver far side on 1st and 10. Turn, give it to Nord. Nord's got a hole, and then it was filled quickly. Nice job again by Wyatt Crump. Boy, when he makes his mind up talking about Crump to go get the ball, he goes and gets the ball.
Yeah, you're
right.
He
doesn't go any further after that.
No, you're right. Good size from Crump, 6'3", 185. He is the leading tackler on the Spartans defensive unit. He's one of the other handful of seniors that have kind of kept this program together and helped lead to this first playoff berth in 14 years.
2nd and 6. I mean, we talked glowingly about Crump, but Nord picked up 4. 2nd and 6 QND from the Spartans' 17-yard line. QND already leading 14-0. Turn, give it to Kinsel. Makes it cut inside, steps through a tackle, and leans toward the 11-yard line. It will be very close to the 1st down. Let's see just where they spot it and how much is left. Looks like they're going to give Kinsel 5, and it's going to be 3rd and less than a yard for QND. Kinsel now with 44 yards on 5 carries. Anders has 38 yards on 7 carries. Nord has 22 yards on 4 carries. Power I, 3rd and less than a yard for QND. And Beverly almost dropped the snap, and then we have flags thrown. Some miscommunication and a false start penalty on QND. I don't know if QND was going on 1st sound or what, Kyle, but Half the offense thought it was on one snap count, and the other half thought it was on a different one. So a 5-yard penalty will now make it 3rd and closer to 6. 3rd penalty of the game on QND. No penalties yet on Stanford Olympia.
It certainly does change the dynamic of this play calling here when you think the Raiders can go inside to one of the fullbacks there on 3rd and real short. Now this does make it a little more challenging. Raiders are going to come out in one of their heavy sets, double tight sets.
Raiders give it to Arns. He picks his way through traffic, and he will bounce it to the outside, stiff on the man, and score. So on 3rd and 6 from the 17-yard line, QND gives it to Arns, and he bounces it to the outside, and with a stiff arm was able to elude the last tackler and take it those 16 yards for the touchdown.
Well, just like I said, they probably wouldn't be able to give it to one of the fullbacks up the middle. Yeah. Instead, they do that on 3rd and 6, and Arns, one stiff arm, and he takes it all the way to the house. So QND put up their 3rd first-half touchdown and extra point away from going up 21-0.
Cooper Reese will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Landon Hemming. Snapback is true. Ball down. Kick is up. Caught it a little fat, but he still got it between the uprights. So Cooper Reese makes the new score. QND 21, Stanford Olympia nothing. 3:41 left to go first half. Back in 1 minute. Raider football on WTAD.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
The Class 4A IHSA playoffs. Tim and Kyle with you on this Saturday afternoon. Cooper Reese gets the game restarted. Nice kick to the angle is taken by Austin Slager at Justin Slager at his own 3-yard line, but he gets it across the 20 and then runs into a pile there at about the 21-yard line. So decent field position for Stanford Olympia. Their own 21, trailing 21-0 here with 3:35 left to go in the first half.
See how aggressive the Spartans want to get here. 3.5 minutes left in this first half. They have all 3 timeouts. So plenty of time to put together a scoring drive, certainly. But, they're still looking for just their second first down in the first half. What they don't want to do is go 3 and out real quick and set the Raiders up with a short field.
Pistol formation, 2-by-2 the receivers. Sidecar right is Ballinger. On 1st and 10, Colin Miller takes the snap. Looking over the middle of the field. Now we'll take off and run with it. Forgot the ball. Picks it up. Keeps going and gets about 4 to the 25-yard line. Logan Arns throws Miller down there. Nice dribble move by Colin Miller. But not what you want in football. Perfectly fine in basketball, but not in football. 4-yard gain, though.
Credit this Raiders defensive front with just, creating chaos. So far this entire first half. Just nothing able to look real crisp in the offensive backfield for Olympia. Just not comfortable at all. And certainly the Raiders front 4, front 7 are to credit for that.
Ball on the far half, 2nd and 6 from their own 25 for Stanford Olympia. Again, 2-by-2 the receivers out of the pistol. Colin Miller takes the snap, looking left the whole way, stands and fires, and the pass is knocked away incomplete as Austin Bruner came to a stop, Kyle, and Brian Copley ran through the ball and knocked the ball down as Bruner, if he goes after that ball aggressively, makes the catch, but he allowed Copley to make a play on the ball and knock it down.
Yeah, he kind of posted up, if you will. Copley went around him, you're right, and was able to put his hand right between Bruner's hands and knock that away. So good defensive back work today from QND. I mean, we've seen over with a couple knockdowns. This time it was Copley. And what looked like it was going to be a first down catch, Copley knocks it down and forces about a 3rd and 6.
Copley had an interception last week in the end zone against Calvary Christian down in Clearwater. So 3rd and 6 for Stanford Olympia from their own 25-yard line. 3 receivers near side. Miller's going to roll to that side. Miller stands up, fires, and it's complete to Tyler Bruner. Bruner wastes 2 men miss. He's coming down the near sideline and gets across the Spartan 40 to about the 41-yard line. Easily the biggest play offensively for Stanford Olympia as they pick up 16 and keep the drive alive.
Yeah, nice job there by Tyler Bruner, and you're right. You can hear the fans on the opposing side there, getting a little bit louder here when you're right. That was by far the biggest play for Olympia so far this first half. Nice job by Miller, rolling out to his left, having patience, finding the open man, Bruner in the flat.
2 for 8 for Colin Miller throwing the ball for 15 yards. And their first down of the game, talk about Olympia, that they earned, that the Raiders didn't give them. On 1st and 10 from the 41, Miller will roll out to the far side. Under pressure, stands, fires, and it's knocked away and caught. And a flag down. It's caught by Levi Nyson as there was a double deflection, and Nyson caught it inside the boundary over on the far side and took it from about the 45 of QND down to the 15. There is a flag down, and let's see if it's defensive pass interference or what the call is.
Well, Obert goes over the top to knock the ball down. Has a knockdown from Bruner, but it falls right into Nyson's lap, and he's running upfield. So he kind of catches it already running full stride. And I think they're going to get Obert for pass interference. He did a nice job running through the ball, but he was able to get part of Bruner there when he's trying to come over the top and knock it down.
It is a penalty on QND. So Nyson on the deflection takes the ball down to the 15-yard line. Kyle, that's a 44-yard gain on a broken play for Stanford Olympia, but they'll tell you that's just how they drew it up.
Kind of had the same effect as a hook and lateral that you sometimes see is in effect kind of what it looked like.
So 1st and 10, Stanford Olympia from the Raider 15-yard line. Colin Miller in the pistol. Hands it out to Ballinger, and they almost missed the handoff, and Logan Orange just stuffed Ballinger from that point on. But Miller reached that ball out, Kyle, and almost missed the halfback stomach.
Yeah, you're right. Nice job there by Orange. Fill the hole there, and a nice form tackle. Helmet right in the running back's ribs, and both arms wrapped around. And it's tough to get away from Logan Orange when he's got you like that.
Loss of about a yard on the play makes it 2nd and about 11 for Stanford Olympia from the Raiders' 16-yard line. 90 seconds left to go first half. QND leading 21-0. Miller takes the snap. He's going to throw the fade, and it's dropped by Austin Brunner. It's dropped by Austin Brunner, who pushed off perfectly. That was Drew Pearson back in the 70s. Copley had an eye on the ball the whole way, Kyle, and then Brunner just shoved Copley, so Copley had no chance to recover to make a play, and then Brunner dropped the ball.
Copley almost came up with the interception. It was really at first I thought he did. Brunner gets up and he's asking for some more flags.
Basically, right now, Austin Brunner's pushing off and hoping the official will call defensive. He's done it at least 3 times here today. So 3rd and about 11 for Stanford Olympia from the Raiders 16. 1:24 left, and we either had a false start or we had a timeout call. QND called the timeout. So the Raider defense calls the timeout, their 2nd timeout of this first half. And to reset once again, there's 1:24 left to go, first half. Stanford Olympia has it 3rd and close to 11 from the Raiders' 16-yard line. And the Raiders leading at 21-0.
I think the Raiders were trying to see how the Spartans line up there, maybe have an idea for what they'll try here on this 3rd down play. Or they might not like their own personnel. That time they were one-on-one with Copley on Bruner on one side, Austin Bruner, and there was Jordan Ober on the other side with Bruner on the against the other Bruner brother. And I think the Raiders would certainly like their chances in both those matchups, but perhaps they saw something different.
So the Raiders burned their 2nd timeout of the first half. 1:24 left to go in quarter number 2. QND leading 21-0. Stanford Olympia, though, has 3rd and about 10.5 to be completely truthful. And we'll see what Colin Miller and the Spartan offense can draw up here. It's the pistol look with 2 receivers to both sides. Ball on the far hash. Miller standing at his own 20-yard line to accept the snap. Raiders showing blitz up the middle. Miller takes the snap, looking left the whole way. Turns and fires, and it's knocked away by Landon Peters. That ball floated on Colin Miller, and Landon Peters did a textbook job, Kyle, of finding the ball, going up, and knocking the ball away.
Yeah, that was, and elevating to go get it as well. You know, going up there to get it, punching that ball out with his right arm, going up, and he was covering a fade pattern there. Stayed with their receiver the whole way, and went up and chased after that ball to knock it into the corner of the end zone where no one was.
Sanford Olympia faced with 4th and 11 will call their first timeout of the first half. You know what I'd like Landon Peters to do is take a plane flight out to L.A. and teach USC how to do that, because they can't do that to save their lives.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw it cost them against what was the Hail Mary game? Arizona State.
That was textbook by Landon Peters, Kyle.
That
was an instructional video.
Yeah, it was. Really, one thing, it sounds not, it sounds easy, but
right.
You see so many defensive backs not go jump after the ball, kind of wait for it, and it sounds counterintuitive, but you see it a lot, and sometimes the guy that actually just jumps up and goes to get it often comes down with the catch, not because they can leap like a NBA All-Star, but just because they jumped, period.
I guess part of that is instinct, and part of it is just discipline, because you don't run through the receiver who's going up to catch the ball. You study your steps and you measure it. And
you're right.
Easy for me to say. Oh, man, they blow out an ACL getting out of the nature. So after the Stanford Olympia timeout, it's 4th and about 11 for the Spartans from their own, from the QND 16-yard line. 1:18 left to go, first half. 4th and 11 for Stanford Olympia. Colin Miller has his pistol look. Barking out the signals, takes the snap, looking right the whole way, under pressure, steps up, and is wrapped up and thrown down. And QND will take over on downs as Miller is tackled at about the 19-yard line. So the Raider defense again, Kyle, just collapsed the pocket, wouldn't let Miller scramble or step up.
Yeah, really nothing there at all. I mean, and really, Tappy came around the left-hand side. Nice job by all the front four, kind of collapsing that pocket. That's well put. But really, even Miller dropping back to begin with did not look real comfortable, trying to set up that pocket and looking downfield. It's almost like he took his 5-step drop, had his eyes on, okay, where's the rush coming from, as opposed to where are my go-to receivers and how can I get them the ball.
Now the Raiders will get the ball to start the second half, so let's see how aggressive they want to be. QND has only one timeout left, and they come out in the spread. Single sidecar left is Anders. Beverlo takes the snap inside, give to Anders. He stops, tries to make a cut between two Spartans and couldn't do so. Very short game for Dalen Anders of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for QND from their own 20.
The Raiders are showing the shotgun formation and just, they're going to hustle back up. First, I was going to see if they could just pick up big first down and see if they wanted to call more aggressive plays.
They throw a lightning play out here to Carson Vonderheide. He makes one man miss, got his face mask hit but not grabbed. And Vonderheide takes it to about the 26-yard line. Josh Bain with the tackle. Boy, that was a great play by the defensive end, Kyle, to recover that quickly and get to the near sideline. So a gain of about 7 on the play, and now the Raiders set up a screen going left. They complete the pass to Arns, and Arns will take off running. He's at the 35-40, 45-50 in a foot race. Down the near sideline, Logan Arns. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, QND. Wow. On 3rd and 1 from the 29. Actually, 3rd and 1 from the 28. QND hits Logan Arns on a 72-yard screen pass. What a 2-minute offense, Kyle.
Yeah, no kidding. They were talking about the Raiders just trying to protect the ball and take it to halftime, and they've got other ideas. Hand off a short pass, then the screen pass goes the distance. I know we'll get to the stats at halftime, but I think it's safe to say Max Femerlo has exceeded his career high in passing yards.
204, Kyle, right now. Landon Hemming puts the ball down on the block, and Cooper Reese knocks down the extra point. We'll take a 30-second break, and then gives me a chance to do math. QND leads 28-0 with 14.5 seconds left to go in the first half. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Well, I wish I had predicted that.
I had a psychiatrist paged from the press box to please come up here and talk to you. But
nice job. We've certainly talked up Logan Arns throughout the year, doing a great job in the fullback and linebacker position, and they really got to show off his speed. Typically on those inside runs, we're talking about his ability to bounce off some tackles and keep the pile moving forward and turn 2-yard runs into 5-yard runs, that kind of thing. That's obviously very important, but there you really got to see his athletic ability, catching a screen pass on the left side right about the hash marks, make a couple moves around midfield, and then cut, and then even getting all the way to the numbers on the opposite side. So Logan Arns showing up that athletic ability, and what an end to this first half. You assume the Spartans won't do much here with only 14 seconds left, but what a half there. What a way to end the half for QND.
Cooper Reese, after the Raiders burned their final timeout between the extra point and the kickoff, Cooper Reese then kicks the ball out of bounds over on the far sideline, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Stanford Olympia for their own 35. And Kyle, not only do the Raiders get that big screen pass for a 72-yard touchdown, but they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You're right, if Stanford Olympia just kind of takes a knee here, QND is up 28-0 with momentum, and they'll get the ball to start half number 2.
Yeah, kind of a deflating way there in the first half. The Spartans are knocking on the door, want to make it a 21-7 game. The QND defense holds. Raiders go to the 2-minute offense and get the big touchdown to go up by 4 touchdowns when, again, the Spartans were trying to make it a 2-touchdown ball game.
Out of the pistol, Colin Miller takes the snap and will hand off to Ballinger. Ballinger's got room to run. He's got 10, he's got 14, and he'll be brought down at about the 49-yard line, maybe even midfield. That linesman has no idea where the ball was tackled. He goes right to midfield for a 15-yard gain for Ballinger. Easily his best carry of the game, and now Stanford Olympia calls a timeout with 7.3 seconds left.
Yeah, Raiders in kind of a prevent defense. Really, they had 3 safeties, and even the linebackers there in that situation are trying to get depth at the snap of the ball as opposed to lunging forward and going after a running back. So Spartans exploit that, and we get the ball to midfield with maybe a couple plays left before halftime.
Let's talk about some numbers here, Kyle. Coming into the game, what is it, 89% of QND's offense has been on the ground this year, something along those lines. And Colin Miller comes in with, 1,500 yards passing and almost 500 rushing, correct?
That's right, about 1,200 yards passing, about 500 yards on the ground.
Okay. Max Memberlow 6 for 6 for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns for QND throwing. Colin Miller 3 for 11 for 59 yards. So, it's going according to script, Kyle. It's just the wrong. QND's got all the passing yards and the touchdowns, and Stanford Olympia is not generating much throwing the ball. And their best play of the whole game was that
goofy tip pass,
double deflection. We got a problem with the scoreboard as it went from 7.3 seconds to 9 minutes. So we have to get that corrected here momentarily. Stanford Olympia gets the 15-yard run by Ballinger. Kyle, he has a 15-yard run to boost his rushing total to 21 now on the day. 8 carries for 21 yards. Colin Miller, 7 carries for 4 yards. So 25 yards rushing for Stanford Olympia here in the first half. 1st and 10 for the Spartans from midfield. Colin Miller takes the snap. Quick out here on a screen to Austin Bruner, and Bruner will run out of bounds as he gets to the Raider 44-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play, and about 3.5 seconds go off the clock. First catch of the game for Austin Bruner.
And it was, again, I don't mean to give the young man too hard of a time here, but so far today it seems he's been a little bit too worried about non-flag calls. That time he was able to catch the ball and get out of bounds and worry about just making plays, which was good to see, and not worried about what a referee did or didn't do.
6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4 for Stanford Olympia with 4 seconds left to go in this first half. Spartans have the ball at the Raider 44. They're going to run a trick play here. Justin Slager has it, wants to throw it back under some pressure. Now will throw it out to the right side, caught by Tyler Bruner. Bruner will be form tackled by Parker Kinsel, and it may have been enough for the first down, but the clock expires on the play. It's a gain of 4, and that will do it for the first half. QND leads at the half, 28-0 over Stanford Olympia. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Raider football here on WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
My name is Chuck Brumbill, and I'm running to be your Adams County Clerk and Recorder. I've managed Central State Bank for 13 years, which has given me the necessary knowledge to run the clerk's office efficiently. As a qualified and dedicated professional, I will bring professionalism back to the office. And with my integrity and financial business experience, I will improve the overall efficiency of the office, resolve the repeat audit violations from the office, and improve the cohesiveness of every elected official within the courthouse. I'm Chuck Beverly, and I thank you for your vote and support.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV? QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.
by Clayton McLaughlin, a former Raider, and unfortunately Clayton is in town because a good friend of all of ours, and especially of Kyle Vemberlow's, DJ Vemberlow, passed away from cancer, and Clayton's in town for the funeral, so we wanted to have Clayton up to talk a little bit about DJ Vemberlow and your football experiences, number 7 and number 8, you being number 8. And,
that's right.
You guys, grade school and high school together, so you know the ins and outs of DJ Vemberlow.
I'd like to think so. I said we've got plenty of stories to share. Not too many we could probably share on the radio. But yeah, I started playing basketball actually with DJ when I was 5 years old, and the Vemberlow family is actually the reason I played football. I was on the fast track to be a soccer player here at Notre Dame.
Oh no!
And then the Coach Cannell came in and turned the program around, and the rest is history, I guess, right?
Well, it's one of these situations where I don't bring it up very often, but you have to consider the Vemberlow family, the first family of QND football, don't
Absolutely. You? Yeah, we used to laugh at every time, the teams that we would normally play, the Paul Myers and those guys, they used to come in and they'd have to laugh that the Vemberlows were just always at quarterback. There's always a Vemberlow throwing the ball to somebody. And yeah, no, I totally agree. And like I said, personally, DJ was a big factor in the reason that I started to play football to begin with, and the reason ultimately, I had the opportunity to play 2 years with him in college as well, so got to spend a lot of time in pads with DJ.
So you, 14 years of school almost with DJ Vemberlow?
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Throwing me the ball most of the time, and then by the time I got to college, he took a couple snaps on the defensive side with me, and so yeah, we got to have a lot of really good times.
And I know at the visitation they had a video montage showing, and number 7 throwing a touchdown pass, and number 8 catching it about 3 yards deep in the end zone and hugging it like
it was probably the only touchdown catch I think I had. So yeah, I made sure that I didn't drop it. And no, I mean, looking back, that kind of stuff means a lot now, and just the opportunity to work with him and learn from him, because he was the smartest football player I've ever played with, and I think he learned an awful lot from getting beat up by 3 older brothers. So I used to laugh. I used to go over to the Vemberlow house. I had 2 older sisters, so I'd go to the Vemberlow house to get beat up. DJ would come over to my house to get makeup put on him, believe it or not. So that was
wow.
See, there you go. There's your breaking story, right?
And that guy down there at the end, Mr. Scott Vemberlow, avoided me. I need to talk to you because you avoided me the other day. I'm not real happy about it. It is. Yes, it is. But, and you know what's great about not only DJ but the other 3 brothers, such great guys.
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely.
Willing to be with the other guys and not think, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread,
Absolutely.
so, I'm QND football. Get out of my way.
Well, and you would think as great as they've all been, I mean, there's a line of all-staters running through that family, right? But it was always about the team for them. It was always about learning, teaching everybody else the game. And like I said, I learned an amazing amount just from that family. But I think not just amazing football players, but amazing people. And that comes from the family as a whole, too, Dale and Marty and all the way down. Just amazing people. And that's one of the families that I kind of use as a barometer personally to, as my own sort of moral barometer, right? It was the Vemberlows. Would DJ do it? Would the rest of the family do it? And so I learned a lot of just how to be a good person and a great community member from them as well.
Clayton McLaughlin joining us at halftime. QND leading Stanford Olympia 28-0 here at the half in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. And Clayton, the other thing about your group, Clayton and you and DJ, and your group was tight. And especially that period, that like 4 or 5 year period from Kyle's senior year, and really Scott's team as well. Very tight knit, did a lot of things together, played a lot of sports together. So you guys, I mean, you just kind of went from sport to sport and just said, okay, we got our football heads off. It's basketball time. Now what do we do?
Exactly. Yeah, and those Monday mornings for football, that transition were always horrible into basketball too. So you're in shape, you're just not in that basketball shape. But yeah, we. On the field, off the field, we were connected all over the place.
And the great thing about that first week of making the switch from football to basketball, you don't miss a shot in practice. That was my experience when I was in high school. Well, that first week, just like the guys that played football my senior year, that first week of practice, they could throw it up behind their back without looking, it would go in.
Yeah, we'd
and then for the next month, they wouldn't make anything.
Yeah,
but
you'd think too much about it eventually, and yeah, that's probably fair.
Now, let me ask you something. You made a last-second shot to beat West Pike at the pit, right?
I did, yes.
DJ made the pass?
No, it was TJ Kistner. DJ was the first one.
Okay.
I'll never forget, though, because I went running down to the other end of the court because I didn't know what to do with myself, and I turned around, and DJ and one of our other friends, Jason Vemberlow, those 2 were the first ones that were right there to jump on me, and none of us knew what to do. We just, hopped around, and it's another good memory.
Yeah, guys are jumping on you. I had a West Pike fan come running down the scorer's table, look right at me and go, "There's no way that can happen!" And I looked at him and went, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
It's history now, right? That's my claim to fame around here is throwing up a shot.
One play.
That's one play. That's all you need, I guess, right? That's all I hold on
You did
to.
more than that on the football field. Don't sell yourself short.
I'd like to think I did a little bit more, but.
What are your other immediate memories when you found out about DJ passing away that immediately came rushing to your mind?
You know, it's a lot of off-field stuff. You know, the time that I spent, like I said, growing up over at the Venville House, and we used to go down to the basement and we'd set a stack of piles of pillows about 6 feet high, and we called it the goal line, and it was just jumping at each other, and we thought the pillows were going to stop us from getting hurt, and that kind of stuff. But I used to laugh too because there were times that DJ was my best friend for 30 years. But I can remember, leaving the football field or leaving the basketball court especially, for a period of time, him and I went basically head-to-head. We were the 2 point guards of the team, and so
God,
I can remember walking out. Yeah, believe it. As tall as I am, can you imagine that? But I can remember leaving that gym and just hating him. I was so mad at him because he would just beat me up, and then we'd get in the game, and it was so much easier. And I think that was one of the things that DJ always had, that maturity about him. He always was able to see that bigger picture. I was the 17-year-old idiot, and he took good care of me, and I think he helped push me to a different level, and I think we used our relationship as these competitive friends to both push each other to that, and that was the way, all the way through the rest of our life together. It was always how are we going to make each other better, and what can I do for him, and what can he do for me, because he was always willing to do that.
And this is kind of a smart aleck thing to say, but you've known me a long time. You know where I'm going with this. But again, in that video montage, they showed DJ making a steal from a guard and going up for a layup, and he goes up with his right hand. And he goes up with it, and the first thing that came to my mind was, I would bust him on that, and he would just look at me, and he would just go, I'll work on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right, I'll work on that.
Well, yeah, and he'd remind you that the ball went in the basket either way, so it didn't matter, right? It's the end goal that matters.
Well, or else he'd say, well, I was going to dunk it, and I changed my mind mid-flight.
I got off on the wrong foot or something along those lines, yeah.
What's it like coming back for you, being an ex-football player, to see this facility the way it is now?
This is amazing. Yeah, and my little brother's coaching now, and you still have the same coaching staff. Coach Cannell's obviously been a rock here for so long. You kind of get a sense of pride because you think that you had a little bit to do with it, and that's the best part about it, right? And I think I've tried to help out with the kids in the past and just try to remind them that there's 25 years worth of amazing history in this program, and ultimately they're doing the same thing that I did 15 years ago. You're laying the groundwork for that next crew to come in. There's kids out there throwing a football right now that are watching you and say, man, I want to wear that jersey, I want to wear that helmet. And it's important for them to remember that you're playing for the guys that you're next to right now, your teammates, but you're also playing for that next group that's coming in, and you're playing for us old guys that get to watch back and remember how amazing it was for us.
And real quick, last thing, I know Coach Cannell always mentions around homecoming that nobody remembers anything about the game except for the homecoming game. Is that the way it is with you guys? When you get together, do the football stories immediately start, or is it you guys play so many sports you just kind of go from one to the other?
No, it usually starts with the football stories. And again, that could be the weight room in the summer because we were here at 7 o'clock every morning and having some good stories there, or talking about the time the DJ should have scored, but somebody caught him at the 5-yard line and he blamed a pulled hamstring, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it immediately comes back. And the other great thing about Notre Dame and the Quincy community in general is you come back and you never miss a beat, because you did grow up with these guys. You did so much together, what was on the football field or in the school or anywhere, that these are true friends. You come back and you don't miss a beat. It's the hugs, and you start to BS, and then it's back to ribbing each other about you should have scored that touchdown probably 15 years ago. So.
Hey, thanks for coming up, Clay.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
Clay McLaughlin joining us at halftime as QND leads at 28-0 at the half. We'll have the second half in 90 seconds here on WTAD.
My name is Chuck Brumbill, and I'm running to be your Adams County Clerk and Recorder. I've managed Central State Bank for 13 years, which has given me the necessary knowledge to run the clerk's office efficiently. As a qualified and dedicated professional, I will bring professionalism back to the office. And with my integrity and financial business experience, I will improve the overall efficiency of the office, resolve the repeat audit violations from the office, and improve the cohesiveness of every elected official within the courthouse. I'm Chuck Brumbill, and I thank you for your vote and support.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town and Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Nothing over Stanford Olympia. Raiders will get the ball to start half number 2. Tim Kintrip along with Kyle Vemberlo. Kevin Payne, our producer on this Saturday afternoon. And Kyle, the Raiders just got to keep doing what they've been doing. And basically, wouldn't you say that the Raider defense has kind of set up the Raider offense, only allowing Stanford Olympia to get 5 first downs in that first half? And really, one was on a fluke and one was on a penalty. So really 3 only offensive first downs for Stanford Olympia in that first half.
No, you're right, and certainly the Raiders here done a nice job offensively, up 28-0, but you know what, if you're only giving up a couple first downs for an entire half, you don't need anything more than a field goal, you know, because you're going to shut the other team out. So Raiders look real sharp, both defensively. Olympia really, it's hard to even tell what they're doing at times because the defensive front has done so well for QND. And then certainly offensively, it's seen some big plays through the air, 3 touchdowns through the air for Max Venberlo. Got the ground game going. It does look like Deion Anders, he's got his left knee on ice here to come out after halftime. So it looks like they're going to be going the second half without Anders. But, hopefully that's just kind of precautionary, and they just want to kind of rest him up. So
I think that's what it is.
Let's hope so. So, QND offensively here in the second half, take care of the football. Obviously, you don't have to change a whole lot when you just outscored your opponent up 28-0, so they're not going to try to reinvent anything. But try to take care of the football and keep flying around on defense. They should be in real good shape.
So QND will be moving from our right to left here in the third quarter, or if you know the lay of the land here at Advanced Physical Therapy Field, the Raiders will be heading south in this third quarter. Ben Nord is the deep man. He is flanked by Landon Peters and Parker Kinsel. Justin Slager will get the game restarted, and it's an onside kick, and it's recovered at midfield by one of the Raiders, and that's number 22 for the Raiders, who is, as we go scrambling, Zach Chapman. Makes the recovery, so Stanford Olympia figures, what the heck, we're down 4 touchdowns. Might as well try and get the ball back right away. But
I agree with him.
Zach Chapman says, hey, I was expecting this, and got the ball and just turtled with it. And he gives the Raiders excellent field position at their own 49, 1st and 10.
Yeah, it's always a hard kick to try. You're trying to just kind of tap it so it gets the 10 yards, but you also want to outrun it so you can put a helmet on Chapman or whoever that middle guy is, and you want to beat him to the balls. But as it was, nice job by Chapman stepping up, hunkering down, and then getting to the ground to protect the ball.
So on 1st and 10 from their own 49, Ben Nord takes the handoff, skitters to the left side, gets to the sideline, has the first down and more, and ends up with about 12 or 13 yards. Folks want a penalty flag thrown, but Nord created as much contact as the defenders did on that. But Nord takes it inside the 40 to about the 37. So that's a gain of 14 and a 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Well, it's such nice depth at this tailback position. We talked about Nord and Luke Frieden last week. That time it's Nord on this sweep to the left, and you're right. Finished that carry with a little extra something and ran through a would-be tackler as they went out of bounds. So Nord not just looking to tiptoe his way out of bounds there at all.
1st and 10, QND, give it to Arns. Arns steps through a couple of tackles, spins off another, lowers his shoulder, and the pile's still moving. And they're going to finally blow it dead at the 30-yard line. Logan Arns stepped through a couple of arms and then almost ran through about 3 players. Picked up 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 QND.
They let referees that time. We talked to them about a quick whistle a couple times there in the first half. That time they really wanted to make sure Arns was bottled up. They really let that one go for a while. But nice tough inside running there from Logan Arns. You don't see the spin move often there between the guards and traffic, but he did a nice job of executing it there.
2nd and 3 QND from the Spartan 30-yard line. Give it to Nord. Nord bounces outside instead of inside, and he'll be thrown down for no gain on the play. Josh Bain made the stop, and looked to me, Kyle, it's easy when you have the angle we have, but it looked like there was a hole through the middle for Nord, but he bounced it to the outside.
Go ahead. Bain listed at 275, and he's a big guy. necessarily look at 275 just looking at him, but big, strong guy was able to get an arm kind of over Nord's shoulder there, and he's a strong enough guy. If he's got one in front of you and then kind of one over your shoulder, Nord wasn't able to stay up real long.
They actually marked Nord down for a 1-yard loss, bring up 3rd and 4 for QND. They pitch it into the boundary to Nord again. He cuts it to the outside, and he's close to the first down. It all depends on the spot. If he doesn't have it, Kyle, he's short by about 2 inches. So let's see where they spot it and see what the Raiders are going to do here. It looks like they're going to say it's 4th down. It's 4th down and less than a yard. So gain of 3 on the play for Nord, and it's 4th and about a foot for QND inside the Spartans' 28-yard line.
That time the Raiders came out in a heavy right sets. They had a tight end and then a second tight end along the right-hand side, thinking the Spartans would really overload that side since it was the wide side of the field as well. Instead, they went the other way with it, pitched it to the weak side and into the boundary.
So 4th and about a foot for QND. Power eye, double tight end. Vanderbilt turns, gives it to Kinsel, and he lunges forward, and I'm not sure if they're going to give it to him or not.
I don't think so.
Well, I think they are going to, where they spot it, I think he's got it. Well, no, now that I look where the chains are, I think you're going to mark Kinsel just short. Kinsel did all he could. He got hit and tried to keep his balance long enough to twist and lunge, but they're going to say he was down on the twist before the lunge. And the Spartans, for the second time in this game, stop the Raiders on 4th down and take over at their own 28-yard line.
A nice defensive play there by the Spartans, but I'm not sure that got that spot right. Cause
I don't think they did either.
Yeah, they're spotting as if Kinsel went straight down once he got hit, and it was a nice play. But I did think Kinsel was able to kind of spin forward there and pick up the 1 foot that he needed.
So the Spartans take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 28. Colin Miller takes the snap, sets up a screen, gets it out to Ballinger. Arns there, and he brings
Nice.
Ballinger down at about the 26-yard line. It's a loss of 2 on the screen. And it'll be 2nd and 12 for Stanford Olympia.
Well, we'll talk about Logan Arns' athletic ability on that screen pass for a touchdown with 30 seconds left in the first half. That time he shows his athletic ability defensively. That was a wide open field tackle there. Ballinger really had him one-on-one.
Yep.
And not able to make much happen. Arns, a sure tackler, able to bring him down for a loss.
2nd and 12 for Stanford Olympia from their own 26. 3 to the near side, single receiver far side. And Colin Miller takes the snap, wants something over the middle, instead takes off on a scramble, and he'll get to the 25 for a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and about 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 30-yard line.
And again, that time looked like Welper in there, Brady Miller in there as well. Miller Colin Miller, that is, just really unable to get comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah.
He's really looking for the rush as opposed to looking downfield. And again, that's because he's had to so far for most of the game, so it's just kind of turned instinctive at this point.
At the 30-yard line for Stanford Olympia, ball between the hashes, closer to the far hash, though, on 3rd and 8 for the Spartans. Miller sends the back in motion, fakes it to Nyson, stands up, fires over the middle, has a receiver open, but missed him, trying to hit Tyler Bruner in the middle of the field, and Miller just led him too far and missed his receiver. It's 4th and 8 for Stanford Olympia.
Yeah, nice route that time from Tyler Bruner, covered by Obert. He put a nice move there on Obert, faking outside, then came back inside, kind of on a deep slant, if you will, or a skinny post, and was open. The ball was, he had a shot at it, but just led him a little bit too far.
And Stanford Olympia will be forced to punt it away. So the Spartan defense holds the Raiders on 4th down, but then goes 3 and out on the offensive possession. Now Austin Bruner will kick it away. High end-over-end kick that Kinson will come over, field at his own 37. Sidestep the first 2 men. He's at the 45. He's at midfield before he goes out of bounds. And they're going to mark Kinsel out at the 49. So they're going to mark him out on the Spartan side of the 50. So excellent field position again for QND. 1st and 10 at the Spartan 49. We've played 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the third quarter. QND leading 28-0.
Nice job by QND defensively there, turn back around after that 4th down stop and force the punt. And nice job really fighting off the sun on that punt return. Kinsel having to look up kind of in the sun, and could tell he was really battling that, but was able to locate the ball and do a nice job on the return.
Out of power I, 1st and 10 QND from the Spartan 49. Give it off to Nord. Nord cuts it inside. He's got 5. He's got 7 yards. Down to about the 40, well, we'll give him 6 yards to the 43 for Stanford Olympia. 2nd and 4 QND.
Kind of like the way Nord, only 5'9", 145. I'll tell you, when he runs between the tackles, he forgets about all that because he really dips his shoulder down there, and he's looking for some contact. We've talked about him already a couple times today, finishing runs on the outside along the sideline, putting his shoulder down to finish a strong run. He does a nice job between the tackles as well.
2nd and 4 QND from the Spartan 43-yard line. Power I. And now Kinsel comes out of the power I in motion towards the near sideline. And they're going to give it to Nord. Nord will bounce it to the outside. He's got the first down and will reach the ball out to about the 36. That's a dangerous play, but they're going to mark Nord down before the ball came loose. Nord tackled at the 36. That's a gain of 7 and a first down for the Raiders.
The time a counter play back to the right-hand side, and Nord kind of lunging forward for an extra yard, just had the ball extended, and the ball came out as it often can when you've got it extended like that, but referees rule him down, which I think is the right call, and doesn't seem like anyone on the Olympia sidelines too surprised by the call.
1st and 10 QND from the Stanford Olympia 37-yard line. Power I, double tight. Give it to Arns. Arns picks his spot, lunges forward. He'll get inside the 35 to about the 32.5-yard line. That's a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for QND. Arns took the handoff that time and just tried to decide which shoulder to cut off of in front of him. Go outside towards the sideline or go left inside between the hashes, and Arns decided to go left and picked up 4 yards.
We talked about Amler just coming out of the locker room with the ice bag on his left knee. It's Blake Hilgenbrink as well. He's going to be iced up for this second half. He's got an ice pack there on his right knee, and again, hopefully both of them are just deciding to rest and as opposed to being forced to sit out.
Here's a pitch to Nord. Nord, if he can get the corner turn, has room to run. He does get the corner turn. Then he lets traffic go past him, cuts it back, and then gets thrown down at the 25. That's a first down for QND and a pickup of about 8 yards on the play for Ben Norden. There was a couple of times in that run, Kyle, where if Nord could get to a certain spot, it looked like he was going to get big yardage, but good pursuit by the Spartan defense to only make it an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, good speed, good pursuit from the interior of that Spartan defense. And I tell you that Nord just he refuses to go out of bounds, which is fine. You want that kind of toughness out of a tailback, especially ones that is kind of the complementary tailback to Dalen Anders.
Here's a handout to Parker Kinsel. He started right, cut it back up the middle, and they blow that play dead quickly. A gain of only about 2. They're going to mark him inside the 35 at about the 33.5. So a gain of 2 for Kinsel will bring up 2nd and 8 for QND. Kinsel has 46 yards on 7 carries. Arns has 36 on 7 carries. Anders 40 yards on 8 carries. But Dalen Anders will not play this second half. Midway through the third quarter, QND leading 28-0. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Mount Zion-Rochester game, which will kick off at 6 o'clock this evening. Looked like Kinsel lurched forward, no call. Memberlo has it, throws off his back foot, looking for Tappy, and it's incomplete. And there's a flag down the backfield, and there's a flag down near the goal line.
I saw the pass interference. Bruner did not get turned around there. Coverage on Tappy, and had decent coverage, but he didn't turn around, so I think they're going to get him for face guarding. I don't know about this one in the backfield.
The one in the backfield's holding on QND. So I think these will offset and we'll have 2nd and 8 again, is my guess.
Good looking pass there again by Venverlo, rolling to his right, put lots of air under the ball, trying to give Tappy a chance to run underneath it and make a play, just unable to track it down.
So it is offsetting penalties, holding on QND, pass interference on Stanford Olympia. So we'll do it again, 2nd and 8 from just inside the Stanford Olympia 25-yard line, closer to the 24. And the far side linesman is going to come over and get some clarification that he can take over to the Stanford Olympia sideline and make sure they know what's going on. Talking about the coaches and players for Stanford Olympia. But the offsetting fouls makes it 2nd and 8 for QND from the Stanford Olympia 24-yard line, we'll call it. Raiders lead it 28-0. Power I, Ben Nord the deep back. Single receiver near side is Carson Krasinski. Kinsel comes in motion out of the power I, and the Raiders will turn and pitch it to Nord. Nord will bring it left. Nord will cut inside, stumble, and dive forward inside the 15 to about the 14. He didn't look like he had balanced most of that run, Kyle, but somehow he picked up about 12 yards.
He's a wrecking ball out of there sometimes. He runs recklessly, and I mean that in a good way.
Right.
I mean, he's not concerned about getting caught off balance and someone putting a big hit on him or anything like that. He's running recklessly and always leaning forward, and sometimes a little off balance, but only because he's running as hard as he can.
First and 10 QND. It was actually a gain of 8 as they marked the ball at the 15-yard line of Stanford Olympia. Kinsel goes in motion again out of the power I. Raiders will turn, give it to Nord right up the gut. Lowers his shoulder and gets pushed back. Ball comes out late, and Max Memmerloh gets hit by 3 Spartans. And all the folks on Stanford Olympia sideline are saying, why is that ball blown dead? Well, he got hit, got knocked down, and then the ball came out. It was a quick whistle again.
Wait, what
Kyle,
are you, a lawyer?
No, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Select last night. Gain of 1 for Nord, but the Raiders still have possession at the Spartan 14, 2nd and 9. So, hey, when you're down 28-0, you want all the breaks you can get to get back into this ballgame.
Yeah, they tried. They tried the onside kick. They got a little frustrated with that pass interference call when Bruner didn't turn around, got called for face guarding. But you're right. I think Nord was down again.
Here's Luke Frieden into the ballgame. He's going to take it inside the 5, keep his balance, and score from 14 yards out. So Ben Nord gets a rest. They bring in Luke Frieden, and Frieden goes 14 yards for a touchdown.
Nice job by the senior captain, Luke Frieden, to take one to the end zone 14 yards out. We saw him and Nord really rotating a lot last week in the last 3 quarters against Calvary Christian. Nord getting the most of the carries here so far today, and Luke Frieden certainly making the most of his opportunity with the touchdown run.
Cooper Reese will attempt his 5th extra point of the game. Snapback ball down, kick is up and good. Raiders lead it 35-0. 4:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Back in 1 minute here on WTAD.
My name is Chuck Frumville, and I'm running to be your Adams County Clerk and Recorder. I've managed Central State Bank for 13 years, which has given me the necessary knowledge to run the clerk's office efficiently. As a qualified and dedicated professional, I will bring professionalism back to the office. And with my integrity and financial business experience, I will improve the overall efficiency of the office, resolve the repeat audit violations from the office, and improve the cohesiveness of every elected official within the courthouse. I'm Chuck Beverly, and I thank you for your vote and support.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.
Cooper Reese will kick it off for the Raiders. And he will punch it down towards the left side. Slager will take it at his own 6-yard line. Coming right up the hash marks, Justin Slager trying to bounce it to the sideline, and he will, but then get guided out of bounds there by Landon Peters. So a pretty good return by Slager. He got it near the 30-yard line, just past it as a matter of fact. And it'll be 1st and 10 Spartans. From their own, wow, they gave him a good spot, actually about the 33-yard line for Justin Slager in Stanford Olympia. But Kyle, you've mentioned it a couple of times. It just seems like after the first couple of drives of the game, the Raider defensive line really made Colin Miller develop a case of happy feet in the pocket. He's just dancing around back there and thinking of ways to get rid of the ball or get out of the pocket as quickly as he can.
Yeah, he's not really settling back there. It's almost like he's waiting to avoid that 1st or 2nd rusher and then look for receivers.
Empty backfield, brings Ballinger in motion, and fakes the jet sweep and keeps it. Miller is around the corner. He's got about 9 yards, and then the ball comes out late, and it's recovered by QND. So Miller picked up about 10 yards on the play, actually a little bit more than that, then fumbles, and now the Stanford Olympia sideline, as you can imagine, they want to know why that play wasn't blown dead, and the fumble actually stands.
Again, I don't mean to be looking through blue and gold glasses. I think it was a fumble.
I do too.
On that one. A nice-looking play from Olympia. That was a crisper-looking play, and Miller found a hole off the right-hand side and made a couple moves and did a nice job, except for just coughed it up there before he was all the way down. So kind of a mix of offense doing well, defense doing well, and certainly the Raiders have caught a couple bounces such as that one so far today too.
On 1st down, Landon Hemming into the ballgame, hands it off to Ben Nord. And Nord tried to go right and was bottled up at the point of attack for no gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for QND. So Landon Hemming into the ballgame at quarterback. It's still Kinsel Arns and Nord in the backfield behind Landon Hemming. So Max Vanderlo has the day off, rest of the day off. Not bad, 6 for 6, 204, 3 touchdowns.
I think he's earned it with those numbers. You know, he might have wanted to have the coaching staff pull him out before he threw an incomplete pass. Maybe this was Max Vanderlo's call.
Power I, single receiver near side, ball between the hash marks on 2nd and 10 from the Spartan 49. Kinsel falls down but resets. No flag thrown. They pitch it to Nord. Nord coming left. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 15 and pushed out of bounds inside the 35 at about the 34. I think technically that was a penalty on Parker Kinsel, but I guess because he's a back, he can lean forward and reset himself and not have a penalty called. I guess it's up to the discretion of the officials.
Yeah.
I think you see it called sometimes, and sometimes you let it go right there.
Yeah, I agree. You know, if he just would have kept going in motion, you wouldn't have thought anything of it.
So, 1st and 10, QND after a 15-yard pickup. Give it off to Kinsel, and he runs right into somebody, keeps his legs moving, and picks up about 2. And Stanford Olympia really getting frustrated. In fact, the referee just threw a flag on Austin Brunner, who tackled Landon Hemming after the play. Hemming handed off, and then Brunner just went ahead and grabbed Hemming and threw him down.
And going back to the previous carry by Nord, I mean, after that play ended, Nord gets tackled along the sideline. There's 4 or 5 Spartans with their arms up or their arms out asking the referee, why don't you throw this, why don't you throw that? And I don't know, maybe there was a hold in there. Maybe there was this play where Kinsel kind of lunged and, you know, maybe it's an offside. I don't know. Maybe it was all those things. But at some point, just, you know, make a play. Make a play, and let's stop worrying about if that should have been a 5-yard offsides penalty or not.
Now the referee has stopped play, and he's going to go over and talk to the Stanford Olympia head coach just to kind of settle him down and let him know the temperature of the room, so to speak. QND leading 35-0, 3:27 left to go in the third quarter, and after the personal foul penalty on Stanford Olympia, the Raiders will have it inside the Spartan 20 at about the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. And, Kyle, I mean, you can kind of see Olympia's point of view. They're excited about making the playoffs. Haven't been to the playoffs since 2002. And then fall behind by multiple touchdowns and borderline plays. They don't think they're getting called the right way. The frustration is just kind of boiled over here in the last 3 or 4 minutes of game time.
No, you're right. You know, they came in here, again, on a 3-game winning streak, kind of riding high, kind of got Olympia football back on the map here a little bit. And not only have they been getting pushed around, and they have, but also, you know, some of those bounces didn't go their way with a couple fumbles that were QND put the ball on the ground, but the ball, you know, but the player was tackled. Here we see Miller put the ball on the ground, and again, I think the referees made the right calls on all these.
Right.
But some of these closer plays, the fumbles coming loose, haven't gone Olympia's way, and you know that's not why the score is 35-0. The score is 35-0 because the Raiders are pushing them around, and they've got some big plays in the passing game.
Mike Rathbun has been talked to by the officials, and now Logan Arns takes the handoff, slips 2 tackles around his legs, and plows forward to get about 5 yards when he should have been tackled for no gain. But nice play by Logan Arns. The old tire drill coming through there, or the rope drill, depending on what kind of equipment you have at practice. 5 yards for Logan Arns. It's 2nd and 5 QND.
A nice job by the senior Arns to, you know, what a game he's had offensively, defensively. I mean, certainly one of the keys of this QND unit, doing a nice job here as a senior in the first round of the playoffs.
Hemming will pitch it wide to Nord. Nord gets some lead blocks. Actually ran right into those lead blocks and got shoved backwards. Wyatt Crump and Austin Brunner in on the tackle for Stanford Olympia. Crump's had a very good ball game defensively for the Spartans. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5 for QND.
Yeah, nice job running the alley there from Crump. And, you know, you look at his size. I mean, you're like that size from a linebacker, 6'3", 185, and really runs that alley almost like a defensive back that does a nice job from his safety position. So
there's no hesitation on his part, is there? He sees where the play's going, and he runs his rear end off to get there.
Yeah, he does a nice job running the lanes.
On 3rd and 5 from the Spartans' 14-yard line, give it to Nord. Nord slips a tackle, leans forward. He's inside the 10, or actually going to mark his knee down right at the 10, and it's going to bring up 4th and about 2 for QND from the 10-yard line. So about a 3-yard gain for Nord. So 4th and about a full 2 yards for the Raiders. Ben Walper's going to go in. The Raiders are going to go for it here on 4th down inside or right at the Spartans' 10-yard line. Under 90 seconds to play, third quarter, QND leading 35-0. Play clock running down. The Raiders are forced to hurry, but Nord takes it to pitch, goes outside, still gets the first down, and he'll get to about the 5-yard line. Nord took that pitch, Kyle, and ran left. And again, I thought there was a bigger hole towards the inside, but Nord bounced it outside, but was able to get to the corner and sneak inside and get the first down, unless there's a flag down on the play, but there's not.
Well, yeah, Nord, he's really just more comfortable running that sweep play and just getting outside as far and as fast as he can.
Yeah.
You know, so even if there is an opportunity or a small window to cut back inside, he just seems like he's far more comfortable to try to turn that corner and keep things going sideways as opposed to turning the shoulders upfield. And as long as it's working for him, then that's quite all right.
Ball at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal, QND. Hemming turns, gives it to Kinsel. Kinsel lowers his shoulder and gets hit by about 3 Spartans. And again, they blow the play dead.
Yeah.
When Kinsel still had the ball and was still upright. But as soon as contact was made, Kyle, with those 3 Spartan defenders, they blew the whistle and blew the play dead.
Yeah, Kinsel shook him loose there, and maybe give the Spartans a benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't finish the tackle because they heard the whistle.
Exactly, yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe Kinsel was able to kick him off. Not sure.
Gain of about 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 4-yard line for QND. Ball on the near hash, power I, double tight. Hemming's going to pitch it wide to Nord. Looks like he's got a hole. He cuts inside, dives, and scores from 4 yards out. Ben Nord's first touchdown of the ball game. He now has 90 yards rushing on the afternoon, and QND will have a running clock here for the rest of this ball game, which is basically 12 minutes and 15 seconds. Which is a surprise to me, Kyle. I know a lot of folks showed up here today thinking QND was going to blow Olympia out. I gave Olympia a little more credit than that, but QND has proved a lot of people right here today by getting to 40 points.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the Raiders' chances today. I didn't like the Raiders' chances for a running clock, but what a performance here from QND, both offensively and defensively.
We're going to keep it right here for the final 15 seconds of the third quarter as Connor Daniel attempted the extra point and missed it. So the Raiders have a 41-0 lead with 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
You know, when you talk about most people not necessarily seeing this margin of victory for QND, I don't think anyone would have seen 2 75-yard-plus touchdown passes as well from QND today. So that kind of extends that score maybe a little bit more than what the difference between these two teams actually is. Credit that, credit the QND passing game for that. It's something Max Member's done a nice job kind of picking his spots throughout the seasons and picking up some big first downs and a couple big touchdowns throughout the year. But those would be the 2 longest, that's for sure.
Well, if you would have said before the game QND was going to have a couple of 70-yard scoring drives, you said, okay. If you said a couple of 70-yard scoring plays, they look at it and go, well, Anders broke off a big one.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But not a screen to Arns or a pass downfield to Jordan Obert were the 2 70-plus scoring plays here today for QND. Cooper Reese will kick it off for the Raiders. Had a good day kicking off here. A lot of deep kicks by Cooper Reese. And the ball is downfield, taken by Slager at about his own 6 or 7 yard line. And again, he comes straight up the hash, now cuts it middle of the field. He will get past Austin Tappy and get to about the 35-yard line. Chapman in on the tackle as well for the Raiders. So the law firm of Tappy and Chapman make the tackle for QND. And the clock still runs, and we have the end of the third quarter. We've played 36 minutes. QND leads Stanford Olympia 41-0. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here on WTAD.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
To Austin Bruner. That was complete, taking the ball to midfield, but then a 15-yard penalty on Stanford Olympia after the play. Something was said over on the far sideline, so it's 1st and 10 for Stanford Olympia, but now the ball is back at their own 32-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Colin Miller will hand it off to Tristan Ballinger, and Ballinger will get to the 35 for a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Stanford Olympia from their own 35-yard line. Tim Kitchert with Kyle Venverlo. QND leading 41-0 here on this Saturday afternoon, the first round of the Class 4A playoffs.
QND using this opportunity here with 10 minutes and counting. Got a running clock situation here with the Raiders ahead, using this opportunity to get some different faces out there defensively and see if they can hold the Spartans at bay here.
Colin Miller, who completed a pass to Austin Bruner, will now throw another tunnel screen to Austin Bruner. He makes one man miss, but then is brought down on a nice play after a gain of 3 yards, and it will bring up 3rd and about 4 for Stanford Olympia from their own 38-yard line.
Jared Bryson doing a nice job there. 5'9", 160-pound sophomore, able to chase down Mr. Bruner, one of the Bruner twins. Chase him down in the open field, force a 3rd down situation.
So it is 3rd and about 4 for Stanford Olympia from their own 38-yard line. Colin Miller is the quarterback. Out of the pistol, double wing. Brings the man in motion. Nyson fakes the handoff to Nyson. Now Miller will fire over the middle, and it'll be knocked away incomplete. Pass was short and behind the receiver, and Carson Krasinski almost had an interception. And it will be 4th and about 4 for QND, or excuse me, for Stanford Olympia from their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice effort there from Krasinski laying out. He was in man-to-man coverage there and went down to go chase that ball, almost came up with a diving interception.
So it'll be 4th and 4 for Stanford Olympia, and down 41-0. They're going to go for it.
I'd say there's nothing to lose at this point.
Colin Miller in the pistol with a 2x2 receiver set, and Ballinger behind him in the formation. Brings the slot man in motion, and Miller has it. Stands up, fires over the middle, incomplete. Contact downfield, no call. Chapman ran into the receiver, who in this case was Levi Nyson, and now they are going to throw the flag late. So after about a 3 or 4 second delay, Kyle, the back judge said, oh yeah, there was contact there, and it was technically downfield by about 3 yards, so it's interference on QND.
Yeah, I think so, and I didn't see the actual contact, just kind of saw the aftermath of it, if you will. A lot of frustration there on this Olympia sideline. I mean, like I said, the flag was a little bit delayed as the referee either kind of revisited the play in his head or just had the flag stuck in his pocket, but a lot of theatrics there trying to get that flag to be thrown.
So it'll be First and 10 for Stanford Olympia from the Raider 47-yard line. Slager goes in motion, and the right tackle moved. So it'll be a 5-yard walk-off on Stanford Olympia. Their first non-personal foul penalty of the ball game. It'll be first and 15 for Stanford Olympia from their own 48-yard line.
Well, let's see here. QND now 7 minutes and counting here with the running clock, and QND going to get another big playoff victory here. Nice season here from QND. I know we've talked a lot throughout the regular season about kind of the comeback here after the tough loss in week 1 to Rockford, but QND looks like they're going to rattle off another victory here.
And
up late, an interception.
And an interception is taken in by QND as Colin Miller again threw it behind the receiver, and the interception was made. Is that Jackson Connell?
Jackson Connell. And man, do I feel old.
Oh, man. You talk about you. But, hey, what a great read by Jackson Connell to make that recognition and then pick out the pass and go down the sideline. And he takes the ball to the Stanford Olympia 34-yard line, first and 10. Another turnover by the Raider defense on the interception by Jackson Connell.
Well, good job, Connell, there over at the playing his cornerback position. Gets a nice handshake and a hug from his father, Coach Connell, and Raiders having some fun here, celebrating with the freshman defensive back.
First and 10 QND from the Stanford Olympia 34-yard line. Hemming will pitch it wide, and the running back will get about a yard and then get planted backwards.
He paid for that 1 yard. That was 30 on the carry for the Raiders. Luke Shireling, 5'9", 140-pound sophomore.
And we had a penalty after the play. Why are we walking backwards?
I don't know if there's a false start situation here.
Let's see what
flag flew pretty early on, so I don't think it's a hold.
Oh, it did? Okay. And it was only a 5-yard walk-off, so the Raiders will snap this ball from the Spartan 39. I didn't see a flag, but I'm trying to do
I didn't see an illegal procedure, but apparently there was one somewhere in there, and the 5-yard penalty marched off, still first down.
First and 15 for the Raiders from the 44-yard line. Inside give. And that play only results in a gain of about a yard.
5 minutes and counting. Again, the running clock in effect for the Raiders. Raiders should be at home next week with this victory. I believe they'll host Rochester here.
Well, if Rochester wins. Yeah. If Rochester wins, the game will be here in Quincy. If Mount Zion defeats Rochester, the game for QND next week will be in Mount Zion. Second and 14 for QND from the Spartan 43-yard line. Hemming will pitch it, and the running back will come to the right corner. Has one man to miss, and he does a good job. He gets tackled at the 30-yard line for a gain of about 9, and it'll bring up third and about 6 for QND's offense.
Kind of an awkward tackle there, kind of hit Shireling there pretty high, and his body kind of flying around there as the sweep right play came to the end, and good contact there down to the 30-yard line.
So it will be third and about 6 for QND's offense at the Olympia 30-yard line. 4 minutes left to go in this contest. QND leading by the score of 41-0. On third down, snap is fumbled, and they blow the play dead with the ball loose. How can that? That ball was not recovered.
And that was the referee that's in the offensive backfield too. He can see.
Yeah, and
he's got a clear view if the quarterback comes up with it or not.
And they're going to mark down Hemming for a 1-yard loss. He didn't even have possession of the ball.
Raiders going to get some opportunity. They're going to try a field goal. Again, it's kind of obviously these 3 points aren't going to make or break who wins the ball game, but Coach Cannell using this opportunity to get the field goal team in a real game situation at game speed on a long field goal.
And the Raiders had, 13 men in the huddle. Well, 2 guys were running off the field, so I can only imagine it was 13 in the huddle. So,
aha, there you are. I'll get you right back on.
Okay, thank you. So the Raiders they're marking off. Right now they're doing math. From the near hash, if they go back 7 yards, just how far an attempt this will be. Where they're lining up right now, Kyle, This will be about a 48-yard field goal for Cooper Reese. Cooper Reese is going to attempt the field goal out of the hold of Landon Hemming. And Hemming kneels down at the Spartan 38-yard line. Let's see what kind of leg Cooper Reese has.
We now join the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders.
Snapback ball down, and the kick by Cooper Reese is low and barely makes it to the goal line. So the field goal attempt is no good. So Stanford Olympia will take over at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. I understand we've had some technical difficulties on WTAD. We apologize for that. We had a cord knocked loose. So to recap, the Raiders have taken a 41-0 lead here. We have a running clock with about 2.5 minutes left to go in the contest. The last touchdown by QND was scored by Ben Nord on a 4-yard touchdown run. Connor Daniel missed the extra point. And for the final 15 seconds of the third quarter and this entire fourth quarter, we've had a running clock, and the Raiders lead it 41-0. QND just tried a 48-yard field goal by Cooper Reese, but Cooper, with his soccer background, it was more of a soccer kick than it was a field goal attempt.
Yeah, kind of a knuckleball out of there. Didn't really have much of a chance. And kind of the other highlight there, if you will, in that fourth quarter here so far was an interception by freshman Jackson Cannell along the far sideline. Nice play by the young defensive back.
And out of the pistol, Colin Miller takes. He's going to fire the deep slant, and it's caught by, Austin Bruner had the ball in his hands and then either broke or dislocated a finger trying to make that catch. He dropped the ball, and he's grabbing his hands in obvious pain. And anybody who's played football, Kyle, probably knows that feeling, don't they?
Yeah, you can almost hear the sound, as a former athlete, you can almost hear that pop when something just gets just not quite connected right there. So that'll sting tomorrow. He's going to stay in the ball game. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Austin Bruner shaking his left hand. He's got gloves on. But right now, one of the knuckles on his left hand does not feel real good right now. Colin Miller sends one of the wings in motion, and Miller will hang on to it. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's tackled from behind after Miller picks up nearly 10 yards. Looks like they're going to give him the first down right at the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stanford Olympia at their own 30-yard line.
Nice tackle there by Kyle Sparrow. Another freshman for QND, another freshman defensive back, able to chase down Miller from behind with some nice hustle.
Definitely one more play, but maybe 2 left in this ball game. QND leading 41-0. Ball on the near hash. 1st and 10 from the Spartans. Colin Miller takes the snap. Looking, stands, fires deep. Looking for his receiver. There's inside coverage. Another push off and then an incomplete pass. Tyler Bruner. One thing you can say about the wide receivers for Stanford Olympia, they know how to push off to gain advantage.
They are physical. I will give them that. Yeah, that's one thing. We saw the Obert got called for a pass interference earlier on the play that Spartans had a 40-yard play there before. Be aggressive. As a coach, you can handle penalties if you guys are out there trying to make plays, and if it's pass interference, so be it. You're out there trying to make a play, and that certainly seems to be their mantra on the offensive side of things.
Last play of the ball game. Going in motion, and the handoff, no. Colin Miller still has it. Peels back, now fires, and the pass is complete, and that'll do it for the ball game. It's a pickup of about 11 on the play as the pass was completed to Levi Nyson, and that'll do it for the ball game. An 11-yard completion from Colin Miller to Levi Nyson, and the Raiders come away with a 41-0 victory over Stanford Olympia. Raiders are now 8-2 on the season. As we mentioned in the late stages of the ball game, if Rochester wins tonight, Rochester will come to QND next weekend. If Mount Zion defeats Rochester this evening, then QND will travel to Mount Zion. 41-0 is the final. QND defeats Stanford Olympia. Back in a few moments with post-game programming here on WTAD.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
My name is Chuck Vergel, and I'm running to be your Adams County Clerk and Recorder. I've managed Central State Bank for 13 years, which has given me the necessary knowledge to run the clerk's office efficiently. As a qualified and dedicated professional, I will bring professionalism back to the office. And with my integrity and financial business experience, I will improve the overall efficiency of the office, resolve the repeat audit violations from the office, and improve the cohesiveness of every elected official within the courthouse. I'm Chuck Vergel, and I thank you for your vote and support.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
As a mother, I want the best for my children. Today, our schools are outdated, deteriorating buildings that can be tough for learning. On November 4th, we have a rare opportunity to come together as a community and shape the future of this great city we call home. By voting yes to the building referendum, we will be giving generation after generation of Quincy's children the environment and tools they need to excel in the classroom so they can make their dreams come true. To find out more about why you should vote yes on November 4th, visit buildingforquincy.com. Paid for by the Committee for Building Quincy Schools.
When Bobby's husband passed away, she went to Hanson Spear Funeral Home.
If you're looking for a funeral home and somebody that will guide you through this with such ease, just talk to Will Spear. Just go talk to him. Tell him how much money you've got. Tell him what you need, and he'll do it for you. He actually will do everything for you need for him to do. I didn't have any problem with anything because Will took me by the hand and just walked me through it. He said, Bobby, there's just nothing to worry about.